I just like stir in the pot, you know?
Yeah, you got us all warmed up now. Good job, buddy. My turkey is boiling.
If your turkey is boiling, you're cooking it wrong.
You know what really stuffs my turkey?
I don't want to know.
Welcome to GoodFlickas, home of the GoodFlickas. Can you take our critiques? Let's find out as we dive into the one, the only Die Hard. No, I'm not including the sequels are their own thing. Die Hard, there's only one Die Hard. Yeah, welcome to GoodFlickas. We're going to be chatting about Die Hard tonight. Thank you for joining us. I am, of course, Matt, joined with the picker of this movie, who I am assuming is very excited about this, Brian.
I mean, yeah, we're on the coast. Let's get together, have a few laughs.
I think I know because Nick made reference to like, oh yeah, it's got one of my favorite lines in it. I don't think it's that one because that was the actual.
I think I know what it is.
I know exactly which one it is, but I'm looking for him telling us.
We won't spoil it.
No, we won't spoil. That's the juice for later. But with this as well, we have Jen joining us with bowl to the side.
Oh, we finished.
I've got my big bowl because I'm actually working on my dinner.
What are you having?
I'm going to end up making a pizza. So I'm currently working on the dough. I was hoping to just buy a pre-made dough, but didn't have any in the store that I liked that wasn't frozen. So I went with my my basic and just Greek yogurt and self-rising flour.
Nice.
What did you have in the big bowl?
Oh, super lazy. It was a can of beans, like pork and beans, and then a steak burger cut up.
Nice.
Yeah. It was beautiful.
Can't go wrong with that. It reminds me of like when we'd have Salisbury steak, just like hamburger with, I think it was a can of cream of mushroom soup or something on top, and you throw that on top of either noodles or rice. It's a pretty damn good meal.
Ooh, that does sound good.
Not too bad. Not too bad. But also joining us tonight, we have the bearded badass himself, Nick, who is looking real comfortable in his new place. Like he's got it set up looking nice.
We out here. This is
a nightly talk show going on over there.
Yeah.
This is my studio set. This is not my house.
It's made to look like an apartment, but this is all fake. Look, it's cardboard.
Yeah, I'm actually an influencer. This is not my actual home. This is where I influence people.
And what are you influencing people to do?
Ooh. Got him.
To send me money on GoFundMe or
so he can move out of his studio and get a real place.
Yeah, so I can get a bigger studio to entertain you guys.
Here it is.
For more influencing.
Yeah. Thank God we need more of those in the world.
I know. I actually kind of cringed at myself when I said, like, jokingly that I'm an influencer. I was like, I got the heebie-jeebies.
Giving myself the ick.
The
But yes, we are going to be talking about Die Hard tonight. Brian, it was your pick, and I'm looking forward to hearing why you picked this. And since further into why you picked this, but also Jen, you brought up the debate. I think now is the time where we by the end of this, we will have to decide as a group whether this is a Christmas movie or not.
Oh, it's already on the agenda, but you guys spoiled the agenda, so thanks for that.
That's what we do.
All right. So why I picked this? Well, quite frankly, as you guys know, Die Hard has been on my mark for a while. Do you guys remember like 2-3 years ago, maybe? I was like, we're doing Die Hard. I couldn't wait. I was so excited. And then all of a sudden Netflix is like, nah, bitch, we're taking that. And it was like week of, and then I had to just come up with the last minute pick, which I don't even remember what I picked, but I was so frustrated that we lost Die Hard.
And rightfully so.
And here it is. It was on Hulu. I saw it and I'm like, we're back.
Now's the time.
The world is right again. The planets have aligned. And I mean, yeah, I don't want to talk about it too much on my feelings and everything, but I just Die Hard is just one of my just most liked action movies easily. And I just couldn't wait to break this one down. There's always that you guys have already learned to it already, but the Christmas debate. And I'm like, yeah, we're in November. Everyone's forcing Thanksgiving out, so why not just be part of the crew? And it's just what better time for Die Hard, especially coming off of our ominous October. I just felt it was just a great time for Die Hard to shine.
Yeah.
Looking forward to hearing everyone's thoughts. Does anyone want to go first?
I'll go first.
Ooh, oh my goodness, the hands. I don't know. I gotta go. Ladies first. We'll do ladies first.
Nick can go first.
Nick was
He
technically
said,
faster.
ladies.
We are gentlemen.
Yeah.
Ladies first.
Okay. Okay, so Die Hard. You guys, I've never seen this movie ever. So this is the first
Never
time.
with your brother. You've never seen this movie.
That's so shocking. Wow.
So I was trying to, like, you guys, I'm hoping it was a Die Hard movie, but now I don't even know, because I have seen one, but I think, like, Lucy's older. And I just remember the scene where he's, like, beating the crap out of some guy because he's making out with his daughter.
It's got to be probably Live Free or Die Hard.
Yeah.
And it's with the guy that's in Waiting, too.
Okay, for sure. This is the fire sale.
Yeah. So that's the only one I've seen, and I always thought that was the first one. So I'm a little behind.
You might have missed a few.
So this was exciting.
There's 5.
There's 5.
There are 5, but the Live Free Die Hard, that was 4.
Oh, that's 4. Yes, correct. Yeah.
Oh, so good to know I'm on number 1 now. So I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I don't know if we can say our Christmas thoughts right now if we're waiting for that. So.
Save it.
Save it? Okay.
Got an agenda, Jen.
So I really enjoyed this movie. It was very entertaining, and it wasn't too much. Like, I was a little concerned it was going to be too violent, because 80s films can kind of do that. But it was good. I liked it, and I would watch it again. And I kind of want to watch, like, the series of it. It got me hooked. And I gave it a 4.8 out of 5.
Okay.
I won't tell you who, but Die Hard 3, a very big actor teams up with Mr. Willis. I'm not going to spoil it for you.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. She had signed off before we had talked about this last week.
Yeah.
Nick, I think you're up, bud.
Yeah, sorry. I got my ear is itchy. My left ear's been draining all day for some reason. So, but anyway. So Die Hard. This is my second time watching this movie. Finally, I get a chance to say that I have seen the movie before. Doesn't happen very often. But I still had to watch it with the subtitles, because for some reason Alan Rickman just, like, he's a little hard to understand sometimes. But this is still a really good movie. I noticed a lot of, like, smaller details that I didn't pick up the first time. And even the first time I watched it, even, as well as this time, like, I enjoyed both of them. And even with the second watch, it was still really exciting. Like, it was really like nerve-wracking, and just watching the action unfold. It's like new every time almost. And just the story is incredible. I really like how the story unfolds and how the characters learn about each other as time goes on. Like, whether it's just by phone call or like hearing them or seeing them for the first time, or, you know, posing as someone else, and just how the characters unfold and meet up together it's really, really awesome. and the action is great. The it's all in all really good movie. I gave it a 4 points. What I give it? I think a 4.6.
All right.
Yeah, it's a really good movie.
Doughboy.
All right. Yeah, I know. So this is my second time seeing this movie in 2 months. I've seen this movie lots of times. But that being said, it had been like a pretty long time since I'd actually watched this movie. And this movie holds up. Like it has come out over 30 years ago. And there's a reason that it's got the hype that it does. This is a really good movie. It appeals to a wide audience. And I can't remember which one of you said it, but like this is an action movie that does a great job of having a really good story to go along with it. And it's got good twists. It's got good turns on there where you never quite really know what's going to happen. And then it's revealed to you. And you're like, oh shit. So a lot of the times you're getting to kind of experience stuff with John. And that's a really cool thing, especially when, you don't have this movie memorized to the letter. And actually to kind of get myself hyped up for this, I've been binge watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine just to listen to all the fun Peralta moments of like Die Hard.
Yeah.
So it's been good. And I really like this movie. It was fun to rewatch. And
we're friends all about Die Hard too.
They kept bringing it up. That was the one movie that they would constantly rent. And they thought they rented Die Hard twice, or they rented Die Hard and Die Hard 2, but they rented Die Hard twice.
That's what it was.
Yeah. So yeah, they really love Die Hard.
And Willis is a guest in Friends.
He is. I love that they actually got him on there.
Yeah.
Which makes things so interesting when you think about the logistics of that. Of like, so Bruce Willis exists in the world, and there's this guy that happens to look just like him.
Yeah. Weird.
So yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. It was fun to relive and not actually watching it on TV like I had a couple of months ago. Although I will say the dubbing for making it TV safe is absolutely hilarious. The way that they fix all of the F-bombs, the iconic line that I'm sure you say, like, it's fucking hilarious. It is absolutely ridiculous what they come up with to make this movie TV safe, and it's so ridiculous. But yeah, really love this movie. It's not perfect, but I will say that every time I watch it, I enjoy it. I have fun, and I'm constantly trying to pick things apart. I'll get into scenes later and with more specifics on that, but it's one of those where like I'm trying to catch more and more every time I watch it. I'm trying to catch details. I'm like, well, why this? Why, like just certain little things. And that's the sign of a great movie to me, where every time I watch it, I have a unique experience every time. I'm enjoying it, but I'm trying to find something new. I'm trying to find something more. And this movie does a fantastic job of that. I didn't give it a crazy positive score, but it's not a bad one either. So I ultimately ranked this a 4.2.
Okay.
Decent enough, but room to grow.
All right. Yeah. So down and dirty on Die Hard. I've seen this movie at least 10 times, and that's probably on the lower estimate. It's damn it. I love this movie. The title, the performances, the action, like you said, Matt, it's not a perfect movie. I've got some nits. I've got some things that we could have perfected on, but Nick, you said that you watched it twice and it's entertaining. Spoiler alert, it's entertaining 10 times down the road. It just never loses its edge. It ages so well. It's perfect. Bruce Willis just carries this movie. Heavily supported by Alan Rickman, and the two of them are just dynamite on screen. And yeah, it's a great one. I took a lot of notes I noticed like when we do movies that I'm very familiar with, the notes get a little on the thicker side, but that's all right. We got plenty to talk about. I'm really looking forward to it. You think you're like, oh, he loves it, he's going to give it a 5. I'm a fair. I am very fair. I gave it a 4.7. It is not a 5-star movie, and I'm well aware with this, but it is definitely in the stratosphere of an A movie for sure.
Yeah. So we got a 6, 7, and 8, and then a 2.
And then yeah, exactly. But everyone's in the 4s. Everyone's in the 4s. So
yeah, this is a solid movie. Solid movie for sure. It's
hard not to think.
Yeah. If you hate this movie, it just means that you really don't enjoy violence or swearing.
Or comedy action.
Huh?
Or comedy action.
And that's something to kind of address as well, right? I mean, there's actually a decent amount of comedy within this. It's not by any means an action comedy. It's got some good jokes, but it's not a ton. Not side splitting.
All right.
Is it
rap for us? This is like slowly becoming my favorite part of the show. It's Nick. I was like, okay, we've all said our things. Oh, is it my turn? And then he just busts out this freaking rap from I wrote it 2 minutes ago. I forgot I was even doing. It's like, fuck you, dude. That was good.
And that's your favorite part of all
it is, because I'm always surprised. I never know what you're going to come up with. And because of like our running jokes, I always assume at some point you're going to just like pick on me, and rightfully so. But you've really shied away from that a little bit. So I think I need to start being mean to you again.
I need some influence from you, Matt.
Gotcha.
I need you to beat me down so I can then beat you down.
I got to tear you down so you can build yourself up. I'm with you.
And then after that, tear you down. All right.
Tear me down. Teflon, bro.
Teflon Don.
Thank you. That's also a reference to you, Jen, bringing up the fact that there's a freaking docu-series about Gotti on Netflix now.
Yeah. People listen.
Is there?
There is, yeah.
Wow. They heard us. They listened.
They did. I still think it would be a fun story as like a fictional retelling, like a drama series or something that's based on his life. That would be
docudrama.
Not a docu. Like it just implies that it's like documentary in any kind of sense.
Okay, fine.
Although,
so drama.
Well, now you got me thinking, like if they did it like Office style.
Oh no!
How interesting would that be? Or a mockumentary?
No.
Mockumentary could be fun.
Don't do that to Gotti.
What's he gonna do?
Oh boy! I would just like to say I do not represent Matt.
He is not my client.
No threat to anyone.
All ready?
Yes.
Cool. All right. We've got a film called Die Hard. Hey, Brian's got facts on the radar. Hey, Matt's not cool, he's a try-hard. Hey, but Jen is cool, she's a rock star. Hey, Bruce Willis is John McClane. Hey, Alan Rickman is Hans Gruber. Ooh, these guys are so insane. Hey, Argyle has to work for Uber. Ooh, we got LAPD and CCTVs and European dudes and pull these Humvees. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie, or is it a heist around Christmas trees? You must decide. You must decide. You must decide.
Yes. Oh my god. Did anybody else get Phoebe vibes at the end of that? Yeah. Must decide. He must decide.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, well done.
Thank you.
That was
very
fun.
Nice.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out a way how to end it, and I don't know how to end it, and I was like,
You must
tell
decide.
them they must decide what kind of a movie it is.
Even though I made him up, he must decide.
All right. Well, thank you for that marvelous introduction.
You're welcome.
So, Die Hard currently streaming on Hulu. If anyone is listening right now,
Netflix is listening.
They are.
comes out in 1988. Little Brian is just 1 year old. I would probably listen to it in my crib, and I didn't even know it.
Brian's first words. Motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's what was coming through the headphones when his mom was putting the headphones on her belly.
Yeah. Yeah. So it came out in 1988. It is directed by John McTiernan. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. The titles he's got under his belt.
Lay it on me because I didn't think I forgot to look him up.
He's got Die Hard.
Okay.
He also has Die Hard with a Vengeance. That's the third.
Okay.
He did one that we've already done on GoodFlickas. It's when Nick put us on his damn Arnold train.
Ooh.
Does anyone remember?
I don't think it was Kindergarten Cop.
It was not. And actually, come to think about it, Matt, you were the one that chose this.
A Arnold movie?
Yes.
Oh,
Conan?
Yeah, it
This is
wasn't
like-
Nick.
not recent then.
Was it Conan?
Oh, Last Action Hero.
Last Action Hero.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like which one did I pick?
Yeah, so he directed Last Action Hero. He's also done Predator.
Oh,
And another one of my gems that I've got that are just like, damn it, what a good movie is Hunt for Red October.
nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Predator is like one of my favorite movies. Oh, it's so good.
You should watch it during Thanksgiving. I can't remember when was it that was it Valentine's Day that Lily and Marshall would watch The Predator?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
I feel like it was definitely not a holiday that you should be watching The Predator.
Yeah.
I think they were supposed to get The Princess Bride or something, and they accidentally got Predator, and that just became their tradition.
I think you're right. That sounds right.
All right, so
And then-
February rolls
and
around.
then-
We're picking
well, they
Predator.
do that, and then they also do something with Star Wars. I forgot what they do. It's like
Just
every
Star Wars Day.
Star Wars Day. Yeah. Okay.
I don't think they had a specific day. It was just like it's trilogy day or it's trilogy time.
Yeah.
So
And they did it every 10 years. I remember that because they're like, I wonder what we're going to do where we're going to be 10 years from now.
it couldn't have been 10 years. It had to be like 5 years.
No, I'm pretty sure it was like every 10.
It couldn't be 10. That too much time would have passed because all of the
Oh, wait. No, you're right. It was
all
5.
the flashbacks of like we did it now. Like
Yeah. No, you're right.
Maybe
It's every 5 years. Yeah.
you can't watch. Well, I mean, you should watch it every year.
Yeah.
All right. Where were we? So yeah, that's the director. So your cast. Obviously, we've got Bruce Willis. And we have Alan Rickman, who you can clearly just see and I can say this now, but you can clearly see the foundation of Professor Snape is just right there. It's just like just tweaked a little bit, but you can hear the tonality and the voice, and it's all the equation is there. That's for sure.
Alan Rickman as a bad guy is just incredible.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him because he's an amazing actor, but he's such a good villain.
He's a great villain. You've got Bonnie Bedelia, who plays Holly. And of course, you have Reginald VelJohnson, who plays Al Powell, Officer Powell. And then the other one that I want to throw out is Argyle. Our little limousine driver, played by Davor White. I think I'm pronouncing that. Does anyone have any other names that they like to jump out, or any actors that they want to give a spotlight to? Go for it, Jen.
Who played the officer?
Officer Powell? Reginald Val Johnson.
Oh, I thought his name was Al.
Al, his character is Al Powell.
Oh, that's funny.
Does he look familiar to you?
Yeah.
Matt, you're muted, I think. Are you
Oh,
talking?
I was muted. Muted. Sorry, jumping into nitpicks real fast. That is one thing I did not like about this movie were some of the names.
Yeah.
Character names, I feel they're not necessarily bad names, but I think they're bad names. Al Powell. Really?
Did Officer Powell look familiar to anyone?
She touched McCall.
Yeah.
Yes. He's always a cop. Forever a cop. Maybe the best cop.
But like, come on. The TV show, right?
You know, it doesn't even matter.
Oh, you did it.
It's all about
family. Does.
It's all about family.
Family matters.
We're reviving right now, buddy.
Let's get Vin Diesel.
I'm glad that's recorded. Damn, couldn't do that again if we tried. Yes, he was on Family Matters.
Carl Winslow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember his rank, so I'll just say Officer Carl.
Yeah, I think it was an officer. He might have promoted throughout the show, but
he could have been a sergeant. I don't know.
What you got, Nick?
So I didn't notice this while watching the movie, but when I looked at the cast earlier today, I noticed that Justin Long was in this. Did he play like a child?
Justin Long, are you sure? In Die Hard?
In Die Hard?
It says he plays a character named Matt Farrell.
That's in Die Hard with
a vengeance.
That's or not.
This is the first Die Hard. It's maybe I don't know if Google's like combining these casts.
Yeah, no.
I think they're lying to you. I'm hopping on IMDb right now.
Yeah, because check IMDb. I'm on. Maybe
for
Google
sure is
doesn't.
not in Die Hard.
No,
I thought maybe he like played a child or something. That like
he would have had to have, but
would it be the young girl that went on TV? I mean, what other kid is in the damn movie?
He's the baby that's in the pregnant woman.
Mommy, come home. Hey, that's Justin Long.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that's his character's name in the.
I want to say it is too.
Wait, here's
I just went through all of the cast that's listed on IMDb, which does include uncredited people. Justin Long is not on there.
Okay, yeah, maybe Google effed up then.
Yeah, that's definitely an F up.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. I do want to bring up Argyle.
Yeah. Sorry, I did have an actor to bring up, but if you want to dig into Argyle,
it's just a quick thing. So I think he did a great job, but I was like, ooh, this would have been so good. A little cast swap. Give me Will Smith. So now we can look back. Will Smith, beginning of his career, he's in Die Hard. You've got Officer Powell, who is in one of the biggest shows called Family Matters. Mm-hmm. Then you would have Will Smith, who's in a bigger show called Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it would have been great. It would have been just such a what if moment.
I don't dislike it, but just to throw out another guy that I think would have been really awesome for the role is Tommy Davidson. You might recognize it. He's the voice of the dad in the Proud Family, but I mean, he's been in things like In Living Color, Martin.
Okay.
Have you seen Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls?
Yes.
The little guy that he fights that bites him.
Dude, I don't remember anything about that movie.
Okay, well, he's in that. I mean, he's. Have you seen?
Wait, was he the dad in the Disney show with the sisters and the brother, Tia and Tamara.
No, not him. You're thinking Smart Guy.
Yeah, Smart Guy. Thank you. That's not him.
No.
Okay. Damn.
He kind of looks like the guy who plays Argyle. Like he's kind of a shorter, scrawnier dude.
Got it.
So like I think like at least body wise they absolutely match. But I think he's hilarious. Like his physical comedy and everything. I think not that this guy's Argyle did bad or anything, but like you're saying probably with Will Smith, I think he would brought a little extra to it.
Little. I mean, especially around that time, like he was. I don't even think he's obviously hasn't done Fresh Prince yet because it's not out yet. But he'd have the humor chops for it, and it would just be so interesting to think back and like, holy crap, Will Smith was in Die Hard.
That would have been really cool.
And then you'd have like a major actor in Family Matters, and then at that time a major actor in Fresh Prince, like two of the biggest TV shows around that era, would have worked together. It just the way that the stars would have collided would have been kind of cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, and that probably would have also jump-started his like action movie career in the 90s.
Good. I mean, yeah.
He wouldn't have to beat up a bunch of aliens and be all quippy and romantic next to Martin Lawrence. Because he just rolled up next to Bruce Willis and was
I guarantee you he would have thrown a better punch than Argyle.
I
guarantee you.
It's funny you bring that up. I don't remember it, but I do remember that whole situation being like real weak. Like just like the whole like this guy, bam, he gets hit with the car, and then bam, he's out. It's like the fuck,
yeah. And then the little birdies went, wee.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like this happened a little too easily.
Who do you want to bring up or bring to the spotlight?
Real quick one. He plays, I think he's listed as Big Johnson, but one of the FBI agents, Robert Davi. He is one of the, I want to get their name right. Fratelli. He's one of the Fratelli brothers in the Goonies.
Oh, okay.
The one who's singing opera and is throwing shit at Sloth. Robert Davi. So, He's got one of those faces that when I recognize him, I can't not recognize him as the guy from the Goonies. So just giving him a quick shout out for that one.
Okay. Anyone else?
I saw Tracy Reiner. She's Betty Spaghetti in A League of Their Own.
Oh shit, missed that.
Yeah, she's what's his name? The boss to I want to say Takashi, but that's not it. It's his assistant. So I believe she's the pregnant woman, technically.
Was that her?
I'm telling you, it was.
Wow. Okay.
What, you don't believe that? I think she was a lot younger looking than she does in because the other things that I've spotted her in that we've seen. So A League of Their Own, and she is it's That Thing You Do. I can't remember her character, but it's when they're filming the movie, she's the female actress.
Okay.
Rick and Anita, that's what it is. She's Anita. So yeah, I'm gonna keep throwing like anytime I see her in a cast, like in a cast listing now, I'm like, oh shit, just because I only knew her as Betty Spaghetti.
Yeah.
All I ever knew her as. She's Betty Spaghetti, and she does phenomenal in that role. But I don't think she ever got like major roles, but she's a great actress. She's a little, so it's just fun spotting her now.
No, absolutely. Okay, so let's go to our ratings. We are giving this one, rightfully so, 4.58 out of 5 stars.
All right.
Yep. Letterboxd is 4.1 out of 5. IMDb is 8.2 out of 10. Ranked 118 in top 250.
That's pretty much on par with Matt's score, you know.
People be loving this movie.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Except for one. This hurt. God, did this hurt.
Roger Ebert?
Roger Ebert.
Let me guess. a 2 out of 4. Yeah, 2 out of 4.
It was 2 out of 4 stars. Raj, you really hurt my feelings, man. Let me read some things. Quote from Raj. The idea has a certain allure to it. A cop is trapped inside a high-rise with a team of desperate terrorists. He has all that stands between them and their hostages. Give the terrorist leader brains and a personality. Make one of the hostages the estranged wife of the cop, and you've got a movie. And then he talks about it's another one of those Hollywood action roles where the hero's shirt is ripped off in the first reel so you can see how much time he has been spending at the gym. Ouch. Come on, Raj.
That does seem a bit harsh.
Sounds a little personal.
Die Hard is a little more than just a ripped off shirt movie. He ends it with how does he end this one again?
He's like, it's not a Christmas movie.
without the deputy. He hated, and I agree. We'll talk about this later, but he hated the deputy chief.
Oh yeah.
Like I said,
the guy sucked.
I will say, yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll be talking about him. But without the deputy chief and all that he represents, Die Hard would have been a more than plausible thriller. With him, it's a mess, and that's a shame because the film does contain superior special effects, impressive stunt work, and good performances, especially by Rickman as a terrorist. Here's a suggestion for throwmakers. You can't go wrong if all the characters in your movie are at least as intelligent as most of the characters in your audience.
Wow.
I mean, that's kind of
such a dick sometimes.
Also harsh.
Oh my god.
Serving up some harsh browns over here.
Yeah, he really hurt my feelings on that review. I'm like, come on, man.
Sorry, while we're on it though, like when we're talking about deputy chief guy or whatever, do you guys recognize him? He's the I don't think he's the principal, but he's the guy that's taking care of the kids in Breakfast Club. That's there.
Yep.
I did recognize him. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
That is him.
He's been in other things too. Yeah, he's definitely one of those familiar faces. All right. Where were we? Okay, so budget 28 million. Worldwide gross $141.6 million.
Wait, 28 million? That's it?
They
That seems
do smart
really low.
things with their budget.
Very smart.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
exciting.
Just, yeah. Really took it to the bank on that one.
Good for them.
I mean, it was kind of like a one location kind of movie, but still.
Even within that, and I don't want to jump into facts because I know
it's
it's
coming.
there, but like they did some smart stuff.
It's coming.
Yeah. They were clever.
It was nominated for 4 Oscars and walked away with 0 wins. It was nominated for Best Sound, Best Film Editing, Best Effects, Sound Effects, and Best Effects Visual Effects. So
really like production stuff.
Major shout out to the production team. Exactly. Yeah. Unfortunately, they didn't take any of it. All right. So Die Hard is based on a novel that is called Nothing Lasts Forever. Now, this is where it gets slightly complicated, so follow me on this one, okay? The novel is called Nothing Lasts Forever. That's what Die Hard's based off of. The novel is a sequel from another novel called The Detective. The Detective was turned into a movie. I don't know what year, but it had Frank Sinatra as the lead in the movie. So essentially, the character that Bruce Willis, John McClane, is playing is Frank Sinatra's character.
Whoa.
And because of this, they had to go to Sinatra and offer him the role of John McClane.
What?
Sinatra being 73 years old at the time.
Yeah.
I want to say
Wow.
contractually for Sinatra when he signed on for The Detective was if there are any sequels, he either has to be cast or he at least has to be like acknowledged. Like like he's first choice.
And what they did for Die Hard is they
He was
changed
like, I'll take it.
they changed the name to John McClane. So John McClane is not the character in The Detective, but so there was a name change, but they actually went to Sinatra and Sinatra's like, yeah, I'm 73. I don't think that's going to happen, guys.
Harrison Ford would like to enter the chat.
Crazy.
I'm glad Matt got that.
Can you imagine like Frank Sinatra starring in Die Hard? Is this when we actually see the real death? Going out with a bang?
Oh man.
Yeah, so I thought that was really interesting. Just kind of
Maybe
behind the scenes
he
stuff.
was
There.
like one of the hostages.
Yeah. The fictional Nakatomi Tower is the headquarters of 20th Century Studios.
Oh, okay. That makes the budget.
So
thing
that's
make
going to
sense
help
now.
with the budget. Now, they actually did have to charge themselves rent for paperwork and a lot of like legal
Taxes
mumbo
and-
jumbo things.
Yeah.
So it's so weird to charge yourself, but yeah,
It's a
so-
write-off, basically. Yeah.
But they had a lot of empty floors, and they did a lot of the filming on empty floors. So they really worked around and utilized this tower to, quite frankly, to the best of their ability, and very smartly too. 17 undershirts in various stages of degradation were used in the movie. So basically, like the costume for John McClane is like, number 1, just clean, white, beautiful, nothing's happened. Like number 16 is like blood, holes. They had different variations of undershirts. Go
Well,
ahead.
did you notice at one point his undershirt isn't even white anymore?
No, it's like pitch black.
The gray, yeah.
That was a nitpick of mine.
What was?
I think it's an actual blooper.
That I was like, why did it go from a white beater to a black one?
I believe it's
think
an
it was-
actual blooper where they had filmed the black wife beater first. They'd filmed those scenes first, and they had the idea to do the white and degradation, like getting worse as it goes on later.
I
So I
don't
think-
think it was a black one though. I think that was just covered in smoke and everything from all the explosions.
I
So
think
I
you
thought-
could convince yourself of that.
Yeah, I was like, maybe that's it, but I was like, no, that's definitely like a solid.
I'll have to do some research on my 20th watch. And
I've got a picture from like off of IMDb where you get it's right before he jumps through the window or something. I can't remember, but like you can see that this is not a white wife beater that is covered. Like it is a black.
oh man, maybe they're like, people won't notice. There'll never be a movie
You didn't,
club
did
that
you?
breaks down movies in the future.
I thought it was like a gray kind of a color, not
Yeah, a
dark
charcoal
black.
color. Yeah,
Mhm.
like a charcoal color.
All right,
Yeah, charcoal.
good find.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, that's kind of annoying.
I do think that it works. Like you said, like so many people would never have noticed or have never noticed this. And it's because it just gets worse as it goes on to the point where like, no, it's dirt, grime, and blood. Like, yeah, of course his wife beater is gross now. It's not white because of all the shit he's just done. So I think it's really easy to look past.
I forgot what movie we did, but it's the same thing of they started off with like a beautiful car. And as the movie progresses, the car just gets more and more fucked up to where then it's practically exploded. Does anyone remember what movie this is? I can't think of it
Sounds
right
like
now.
Tommy Boy.
No. What?
Gone in 60 Seconds.
No, that wasn't it. I know it's one that we've done. Because I remember actually talking about it. About how, yeah, it was.
I feel like a lot of movies have done that though.
It's an action movie. Oh well. Okay, so John and Han's first meet scene was unrehearsed.
Was it Speed 2?
No, that was a bus, or that was the boat. I don't remember. That's all right. Yeah, John and Han's first meet scene was unrehearsed. They did that on purpose to make that awkwardness more authentic.
Totally worked.
Yeah. In 2007, Bruce Willis donated John McClane's undershirt to the Smithsonian Museum. Way to be a true American, Willis. We appreciate you.
Of all of the things to take from sets, like a gross wife beater, like undershirt, like
But at the Smithsonian, that's like the one museum that I absolutely love.
Well,
There's so many cool things in it.
It's the Smithsonian. Everything is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Archie Bunker's chair.
Everything. Freaking space shuttles, man. Like,
man, I gotta go back. I'm telling Case we're going to the Smithsonian.
Check out the mall while you're there.
Happy 2 years.
I might be going to DC next year, so maybe I'll go next year.
What's up, Jen?
What is the Smithsonian?
It's the museum that has basically like pop culture.
Everything. No, it's
everything.
It is a massive museum where there's multiple buildings. Each is dedicated to something different. So like there's space and aeroscience. There's the pop culture and arts. It is a massive museum.
Where is it?
Washington, DC.
DC.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's actually, I want to say it's spread across it's called the mall, if I'm not mistaken, but it's a big grassy area in front of the Capitol.
Like the Washington the monument is right like in the big grassy area, and then the Smithsonian's kind of like around the perimeter.
Yeah.
Of the grassy area. Yeah. I was
right.
there when I was like 12. I was like 12 years old. Yeah, I saw like all of like the aerospace and like the planes and like the NASA stuff, like it's like hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Really cool.
Yeah.
And also to
full freaking space shuttle.
To go tie us right into movie club, you guys may know a movie called Night at the Museum. Well, there is a sequel to Night at the Museum called Battle at the Smithsonian.
Oh.
Which is a fun one, but it makes the rules complete bullshit, and I really dislike it.
I agree with you on that.
I'm fine with magic, but once you start like lying about the way your magic works, like it's like, oh yeah, it's fine for this movie. I'm like, this was such a big deal in the first one, and you're just casually being like, oh yeah, it just works. Like, no.
Yeah.
The third one's fun too.
Anyway, so Mr. Willis donated his shirt to that. So if you go to the Smithsonian, you can see the Die Hard undershirt.
Wow.
I think it's a great reason to go check out our Capitol. All right. Let's see if I can land this. I'm going to try.
And now we're canceled.
Go see a hockey game.
Hans Bubby was ad-libbed.
Fucking guy.
And it completely threw Rickman off. He's just like, and so like that confused face is true confusion because he had no idea what the heck he was doing. But Rickman being Rickman rolls with the punch. I think everyone knows this, but if you don't, here you go. Rickman's fall reaction is real. This is wild. So they've got Alan Rickman 25 feet above ground. Alan says, I'm doing my own stunt. You drop me, catch me, we're gonna make movie magic here. So he's 25 feet above ground. He's got massive cushion on the bottom and everything. And they say, okay, great. Here's what's gonna happen, Alan. We're gonna go 3, 2, 1, go. On go, we let you go. They go 3, 2, 1, let go of Alan. The face that you see is pure fear from Rickman, because he thought something happened and like the harness broke or whatever, and he fell sooner than he should have.
Oh my gosh.
Ladies
That's
and
how you do
gentlemen,
it.
you do that, you get that type of face on your movie, and that's a wrap.
Yeah, you go on 2, and that's how you get it.
Exactly.
We've talked about this a little bit with other movies. Like I love it when directors come up with these ways of getting genuine reactions from their actors. Yeah. Sometimes it's really fucked up.
Yeah. They do some fucked up shit.
They do some messed up things.
How did he feel when he realized he's alive? Oh my gosh.
I think he actually hurt his back on this one.
I don't know that.
I don't quote me, but I think he might have actually, like, he not like a major injury or anything, but I think he hurt himself a little bit, but
probably because of fear.
Locked up,
probably clenched up so much.
Clenched up and hits that cushion, like yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Such a great reaction.
I did not know this until doing the research. This was Alan Rickman's debut.
Oh.
Coming out the gates real hot.
Well, wow. Is it because I think I remember reading that, and it's like his Hollywood debut. I don't know if he's done any films before this. Like
big screen debut, I guess we can call it. And he was to add on to this, he was a little disappointed to do a villain right out the gates. He's like, I didn't want to do it, but I mean, sorry, Alan, you're really good at what you do, buddy.
Yeah. Just to confirm, in IMDb, every credit before Die Hard is TV.
Yeah. So yeah, this is his movie debut, and between Hans Gruber and Professor Snape, just whoa.
He is such a good villain.
Yeah.
I know we haven't talked about it or watched it, but Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Oh wait, he's the voice of Scar, in case anyone forgot.
No, he's not.
Wasn't he?
Jeremy Irons.
Thank you. Never mind.
Yeah. But I mean, in Robin Hood, like Prince of Thieves, I want to say he practically rewrote all of his lines.
Okay.
He as the villain, he's the sheriff of Nottingham, and he basically wrote himself, like in order to get that movie to be as good as it is, and for him to have the role that he had in it, he had to create it himself.
Was that the one with Costner or no?
Costner, yeah.
Okay. It's been a long time since I've seen that one too.
Yeah, he is such a good villain, and I feel bad that that's where he got typecast.
Yeah.
When it works. I can't imagine anybody else playing Professor Snape.
No.
Yeah. There's nobody.
Maybe Joaquin.
Who?
Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, I don't really know them too well.
Joker. The movie Joker. No, yeah, that's just.
I haven't seen that one.
He's Johnny Cash. He's I think the Emperor in Gladiator.
Oh, yep.
He's
that one too.
Was it? I can't remember the movie where he's in love with his phone. It's called Her.
Haven't seen that one.
Yeah. Oh, so I mean, so many things. Like Joaquin Phoenix is incredible as an actor. Mm-hmm. So for sure,
amazing. His brother too. Sad.
Yeah.
Sad what happened to River.
Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't seen. I'm looking at his movies in the past 10 years. I haven't seen any of these. Yeah, I just don't know him that well.
No. You're missing out, man. He's really good.
Yeah, he's really. Okay. I didn't know this one either. I thought it was just really good makeup, but bare feet looking rubber shoes were used.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I did know this.
You did?
I did know this. I forgot about it because I think they did this like a similar thing for the Hobbits and Lord of the Rings. It's you can actually Google Bruce Willis's barefoot shoes or whatever, and you can see they're so huge.
Okay.
They look so big and clunky. They're funny as hell.
All right. Per Bruce, John McClane is his favorite role.
Oh,
I don't know. Yeah. I bet it's a really fun role. Okay. This one I didn't know because, well, quite frankly, I'm not fluent in German, but did you know that the German criminals weren't actually speaking German?
Yeah.
How would we know that? We don't speak German.
None of them, this is the funny part, none of them were actually German at all. They were cast because of their body types. They're like, oh, you're like a towering 6 foot blonde. We'll take you. So basically, these are all Americans that are just running around scene doing German accents and German gibberish.
So, some of them were German.
Some, yes,
but most,
and they were hitting, some German words. I heard 9, so good job.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they were just essentially ad-libbing what they thought an angry German would sound like.
They did so good. I thought they were actually speaking German.
Yeah, we would have no idea.
Yep. Willis unfortunately lost some of his hearing during filming, and it's the scene where he's under. I'll just say it's a scene where he's under the table. The reason why is the director wanted to use extra loud blanks, and there wasn't enough room for this, like being under the table plus the room, there wasn't enough for the sound to expand, so it was incredibly loud to Willis, and he ended up losing his hearing in real life.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he didn't go fully like deaf or anything, but some hearing loss there. The Die Hard movie was originally supposed to last over a span of 3 days. So basically the hostages would be held for 3 days. And they decided, no, let's make this a one-nighter type deal to really put the intensity on. So I thought that was it's a smart move. Really, really smart move. Yippy-ki-yay was ad-libbed as a joke. So Willis was just being Willis on set, and he's like, let's try this one, and goes with it. He had no idea it was going to be like almost the quote of the movie, and then honestly one of the most quoted movie quotes of all time. Had no idea it would be as big as it is. Yes, Nick.
So much so that both of our names on Zoom are a variation of it.
Exactly. It's so perfect. And then I thought this one was interesting. I did not know this until doing the research. Alan Rickman has a mass fear of guns. So much to where if he heard gunfire, he flinched every time. It was an uncontrollable motion for him. So you may notice anytime he has to be the one that shoots someone or anything like that, they are never filming Alan. They are never filming Alan one time when a gunfire goes off, because how intimidating could Hans Gruber look if it goes and he goes every time. So, way to work around. You're a great villain, but way to work around an area of opportunity for your actor.
I kind of want to see the footage of him flinching.
Yeah,
he's such an intimidating presence. Like he's such a great villain. Like to see him like in those moments of like, like it's just like that seems so hilarious to me.
So anytime we're talking about scenes that are, that have to do with gunfire, just let's keep that in the back of our head, especially if he's in the scene. It's just
Poor guy.
yeah.
Poor guy. Yeah.
All right, that's all I was able to find. There was a couple of other things that I'm like, yeah, this is kind of not worth really mentioning, but those were the gems. Did anyone have anything that they would like to mention that they know about?
Well, what a terrifying first movie for this Rickman guy. I'm surprised he still makes movies. They really put him through it.
Well, I want to say he arrived in LA like 2 days before this filming. So like, I mean, talk about like a scary situation. Dude is filming his first major motion picture. He's the villain. He's scared of gunfire, and he just got there 2 days ago. Like, this guy's being put through the ringer.
Welcome to Hollywood.
And he's dropped 25 feet. Like, oops, counting. Like, oh my God.
Welcome to Hollywood, baby.
I have a question. And I don't know if this is something that just everybody knows or if I don't know. But is this the movie? Is this the movie where Yippy-ki-yay Motherfucker comes from?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that he was like referencing another movie because there are a lot of like movie pop culture references in this movie. Not that he was quoting somebody else.
As far as I am concerned, and as far as my knowledge goes, this is when people say Yippee-ki-yay Motherfucker, it's from Die Hard. I don't think Die Hard took it from something else. And if they did, Die Hard is what made the quote the way it is now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because the first time I heard it from this movie, I was like, oh, that's cool. But then the second time I was like, the way he says it, it sounds like he's like making a reference to like another film.
Right.
Because you see, I think, no, it wasn't this movie. Never mind. I'm getting one of my 3 movies mixed up for what I was about to say. Yeah, and I didn't know that this is the movie that it originated from.
Yep. Yeah, that's all I got for our little fun fact corner. Are we good for a break or?
We can take a break, but do we want to drop down our titles for?
Man, this is a new segment. I keep forgetting about this. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh no, hold on.
I have mine already.
Boy, what do I think of? I don't know. I think of too many scenes.
Remember, it's just the first one that pops in your head.
Yeah.
All right, I've thought about mine because like it really is the scene that I think of every time I think of this movie.
Yeah, I've got mine.
Okay, I'll go first.
Yeah, go for it.
My scene title is Backdraw.
Okay. Back what?
Backdraw.
Backdraw. Okay.
I know. Mine, calling it long drop and a sudden stop.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's a good name. That's a great title.
Thank you.
And then, are you going to open up shop?
You and I have the same. You and I have the same scene, Matt. Let's see if whose title is better. Mine is "Let Go of My Hans."
That one might be better. I tried to keep mine a little more subtle so it wasn't so obvious, but that might be the better title. I will give that one to you for sure.
Well, we all
Hans.
Take my strong Hans.
That's a good one too. You just used the movie quote in a wow. That well
actually
played.
I believe somebody's proven this. He never actually says "take my strong hand" in that moment when he's hanging there. The quote that everybody says, he never actually says.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Rewatch Scary Movie 2. He never actually says.
That's so funny. Oh man, when people just say it over and over, you just
it becomes
it becomes it. You're like, that's what he said. He said it. I swear.
He never actually says that.
It's
That's
very
hilarious.
it's very Luke, I am your father.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. That's funny.
Because he actually said it's no, I'm your father. That's the real quote, isn't it?
Yes. No, I am your father.
Not Luke.
Yeah.
How do you mess that up though? I gotta say.
People the same way we messed this up. People say it that way for the longest time. It gets into pop culture and people say it over and over again. They say it wrong.
No. I'm saying, how do the writers not write Luke, I'm your father, not no, I'm your father? Like
There's reasons, I'm sure.
Indefensible. Indefensible.
Well, what does he need to say Luke for? He's talking to him.
It's more powerful, man.
Is it though?
He's addressing the person.
Yeah.
Directly.
When your parents say you by your name, you look up.
Well, that would have been a great time to drop Luke's middle name.
Yeah.
like the full name, like he drops the full name, like the
Luke Bernard Skywalker.
I am your father.
I kind of want to know what like Luke and Leia's middle names would be.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway, John, what do you got?
The same scene as you guys. But I was just gonna sing the song I'm free falling.
yes.
Nice. All right. So three of us.
All right. Well, I think we'll know which scene we're going to talk about first.
Yeah, I had a feeling that was going to be it too. And then we'll roll into next.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a couple of things I wanted to do before we do the intro.
Of course.
The greatest part. All right. First and foremost, all jokes aside, this is kind of a more serious thing.
It is a Christmas movie.
Have you guys been up to date on Bruce Willis and everything?
Does he have Alzheimer's? I think
he's going through a rough time as far
really
as
rough time. He's nonverbal now.
Oh God.
What?
Mm-hmm. And I forgot what they diagnosed him with, but it's basically a special form of dementia.
Dementia, that's what it was.
And he can no longer talk, but he acts the same personality, just he's now silent.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And so, I mean, this wasn't a reason why I picked Die Hard, but I mean, what better way to just really, I just wanted to do a certain individual spotlight on Bruce Willis. I'm pulling up his works that he's done so far, but I mean, I think GoodFlickas, along with many others, Bruce Willis, our hearts are with you, man. Thank you so much for the work you've provided us, and we'll talk about it right now. But man, that can't be easy. It can't be easy on the family. I know it can't be easy on him, and prayers are with him. Did anyone else have anything else to say on that, or?
No, like you said, thoughts and prayers out for him and his family, and I don't think this is a situation where he could be cured, but just hoping for the best for everybody in this that's in a similar situation. But
yeah,
just hoping for the best, and thank you for all of the smiles and shocks and awe and action movies, like everything that he has graced us with. Thank you.
Yeah.
How old is he now?
He's not that old.
70s.
So
70s, 60s.
I'll let you guys someone do the research on that.
I'll figure it out. You got it, Nick?
I've got Bruce Willis pulled up here on Letterboxd. I'm shocked at this. They have 154 titles that Bruce Willis has been in.
Wow.
So obviously the dude did some work. Here's just a couple of ones that you just start looking down and you're like, oh my God. So Pulp Fiction. And it's just like, we're off. What a performance he did on that one, right? Die Hard, which we're doing. The Sixth Sense. I think everyone remembers him in movie called Looper. I don't know. That might be more of a campy movie that some people know, some people don't. But it's got Gordon
Levitt,
Yeah.
Joseph Gordon.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, right? Yeah, that's a tough one. Thank you, Joseph. Unbreakable, little cameo in Ocean's 12, if people remember that, which is it's such a funny moment where you've got Julia Roberts. This is always confusing. Julia Roberts is Tess, but she's playing her as Julia Roberts, and she's actually Julia Roberts, if that makes sense.
It's so much fun.
It is. It's a lot of fun. So Bruce is like, comes in and he says Julia, and she now starts acting as Julia Roberts, but she's also the real Julia Roberts is an actress of Tess who is acting as Julia Roberts.
It's meta as fuck, bro.
This is amazing. Another one he did, not a big lot of scene time on this one, but Sin City. Which is a crazy movie. If you guys remember that one, it's like black and white. Really interesting use of color on that one. Big blockbuster, Armageddon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That one was, that'll get you. Yeah, that'll get you. Of course, he did all the diehards, all 5 of them he's been in. He's also in the Expendables. Which is basically like, let's just get a group of ton of action heroes and put them together for another action movie. He's in Red, where he features with Morgan Freeman. What does that stand for? Retired and extremely dead?
Dangerous.
Retired,
extremely dangerous.
No, but there is a movie where they're dead in doing things. I just can't remember what it is now.
Retired and extremely.
I don't know what you mean by dead.
They're dead as fuck.
What else?
I've got a shout out for one.
Oh, G.I. Joe. Yeah, go ahead.
The whole 9 yards and the whole 10 yards that he starred in with now I'm blanking on his freaking name, and I Chandler Bing, and all I can think is
Matthew Perry?
Matthew Perry. Could not think of his last name. Matthew Perry. God, that's embarrassing. But yeah, those are fun movies where he plays a hitman. That I don't even want to give that away. It's a fun action comedy with Matthew Perry and Bruce Willis as like the reluctant buddies, and definitely worth a watch. Also, Michael Clark Duncan is in the first one.
That's the whole 9 yards. Oh, and the whole 10. So
the whole 10 yards. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Very topical.
Yeah.
Of a movie to bring up. Yeah.
You're looking for something to support both actors. Watch those.
Yeah.
Let's see. He's done the GI one of the GI Joes. This is another I think campy one that some people may know, some people may not. I personally like it. Lucky Number 7.
Oh, I actually haven't seen that one.
Okay, it's one of those wacky twists. It'll take you to the ringer a few times, but it's an enjoyable one. I've heard great things about this one. I've never seen it before, so I think it'll be on the radar. But The Last Boy Scout,
I think I had seen it so long ago, but I remember nothing about it. So yeah, that's one that obscure, but has gotten a lot of like a good fan base.
Yep. Another one where Bruce Willis be more comical. Look Who's Talking.
Oh shit, I forgot.
And if I remember, it's him and
he's the voice of the baby.
Yeah, that's right. He is the voice. Yeah.
But
I was trying to think of the actress. The actress is famous. She was in Cheers.
Kirstie Alley.
Thank you.
John Travolta and Kirstie Alley.
Yes. Yep. Cop Out. He did Cop Out with
Tracy Morgan.
With Tracy Morgan. Yep.
That's a silly ass movie.
Yeah.
Freaking, what's his name? Stifler's in that damn movie.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I don't think I ever know his actor name. I just know him as Steve Stifler.
It's Sean William Scott. They get me with the
I
three
couldn't tell you
names.
if you were right or wrong.
They get me with the three names. I'm pretty sure it's Sean William Scott, but
Oh, this is great. He was in Rugrats Go Wild. I couldn't tell you. I don't know who he's doing that with, but
who was he in that?
Was that animated?
Yeah. Sorry, which Rugrats was this?
Go Wild.
Go
he's
Wild.
Spike.
I was gonna say, is he the voice of the damn dog?
What?
That's great. He was in.
It's because they go wild is when they meet up with the wild thornberries. So you've got what's her face who can talk to animals, so she's talking to Spike.
Okay, yeah.
I thought you said Gone Wild at first. I was like, whoa.
The diapers are off and the sensors
That's
are
a whole
off.
other movie.
Oh my god. We can't condone that. That is beyond inappropriate. That is so messed up.
I can see Tommy's pickle.
Oh god.
Wow, he went there.
Oh, no.
Shit.
I don't
Okay.
even want to make jokes about this. This is baby porn.
That's fun. Yeah, it's funny because it's his last name. Shut up.
It is funny. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
The last one I'll end because we're kind of getting to this. I don't really know much after this one, but Perfect Stranger, which I vaguely remember.
I don't remember that one.
But anyway, I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And so, wow, just once again, Bruce, thank you for all the hard work you've put in your career and just the performances that you've delivered to us it's unreal. Anyone else have anything to say about the Bruce Willis spotlight here?
I know I just need to watch more of his films.
Because
Because right now I know him from Die Hard and Friends. It's really it.
Maybe when you're done with the Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, you move on to Bruce Willis movies.
There you go. Drag us in that one. I'll be happy to join you on that one.
Hey, stop hating on Arnold.
Was Bruce Willis in The Jackal?
The Jackal?
I think it's called The Jackal.
Well, he was in Over the Hedge. Who is he?
Yeah, The Jackal.
Oh, he's in RJ.
He's the raccoon.
The head. Okay, he's the main. All right.
Yeah. Oh my God, The Jackal.
Jackal.
This movie, there is one scene in it that lives rent free in my head, and he's testing out like this crazy ass remote gun that has lots of options and it's freaking insane. And he has Jack Black. That's right, Jack Black is in this movie.
Oh,
Run
jeez.
out into a field, hold up a pack of cigarettes, and he's essentially firing at the pack of cigarettes, but it eventually leads to him testing the weapon to the point where he blows off Jack Black's hand on purpose. So Jack Black is just standing out there scared shitless as this dude is firing a gun at him, and then he blows off his freaking hand.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Insane movie. Sorry. That's just that popped into my head where I was like, oh fuck, that's him, isn't it? Yeah, that was him.
Okay.
I'm not recommending it to anybody.
The last one, sadly, it's been a while since I've seen it, and I know this is more of like you don't just wake up and be like, yeah, I feel like firing this one up. Is Bruce Willis was in Tears of the Sun?
Oh, yes.
Okay, because
that's the one that takes place in like Africa or South America. Oh, I have seen that one. Yeah.
I just remember being a very heavy movie, and I'm like, okay,
So
well,
heavy.
I'm gonna let this one simmer for a bit.
Yeah, I
but
saw
I
that
don't
one last
remember
year.
Willis being in it, and apparently he's Lieutenant A.K. Waters.
Yeah, that's
It came out in 2003, so that explains why. I mean, 20 years ago.
Yeah, I saw the movie last year. It's like gory and gross and heavy. Yeah. It's a hard one to watch.
All right. Cool. Well, again, prayers are with you, Bruce.
So I do we want to start at the very beginning? A very good place to start, or do we want to talk about our scenes first?
We're gonna do one more, and then we'll start at the beginning.
Oh, you got it, man.
Yep. And that we've already kind of teased it a couple times, but we're doing it right out. I wanted to do it right out the gates.
Oh, yeah.
The Christmas movie debate.
Yeah. I knew this is where you were going.
Oh, yeah. I figured it's like Bruce, it's going to be kind of heavy, kind of like the moment, and we need a little bit of a lifter, and then we'll go into the movie. I thought it was a good rhythm here.
I thought you were going to wait till the very end.
Nah.
Yeah.
No, we got to do this out in the gates.
Get the debate rolling first.
Yeah.
It's okay. We'll start here. It's arguably probably one of the more debated topics in movie culture history. I mean, before internet, before everything, I can imagine if I was 2021 when this came out, I would easily be getting into like tabletop arguments at a bar about just to kill an hour or two and maybe, a couple of cocktails or two about if it's a Christmas movie or not. So it's just highly debated. And Jen clearly has some comments. She's ready to rock. So I'll just pass the mic to her.
I just wanted to say at the end of this movie, I was like, wow, that was such a great movie. I said it's out loud. I was like, this is not a Christmas movie, though. I was like,
wow. Okay. So we've got one no.
A Christmas movie. No.
Okay. So where do we begin? What?
But why, Jen? Why?
Well, no. Before we go into why.
Okay.
What would constitute when you think of a Christmas movie, what constitutes a Christmas movie?
Is that for anybody or for Jen?
For any, open forum right now.
Okay, so so I was actually thinking about this because I'm thinking like, is this a Christmas movie or not? But I think what constitutes a Christmas movie is that the movie is about Christmas, not taking place during Christmas time.
Okay.
I think that is where the separation lies. Because this movie could happen any time of the year and the story wouldn't change. It could be, 4th of July and the kids would be like, when are you coming home, Daddy? Like, for 4th of July festivities, whatever.
So I'm going to put you directly on the spot right now.
Okay.
And I know you haven't prepared or anything. You don't know what's coming your way. With what you just said, I ask, is Home Alone a Christmas movie?
Matt's face.
I don't know.
It looks like Matt wants to save you.
Yeah, Matt, help me.
At work today, we normally come up with like a top 5 list of like random things. It's normally like TV or movies or something. And what this list is that we just started is top 5 alternative Christmas movies. And this I would consider is an alternative Christmas movie to go along with Nick's definition of a Christmas movie is a movie that is about Christmas. Whereas an alternative Christmas movie is a movie that takes place during Christmas, like Die Hard. So with that definition, no, it's not a Christmas movie, Jen, but I do believe it's a Christmas movie in the sense of it takes place at Christmas, and that's undeniable. But Home Alone debate, yes, because although the story is about a child who is home alone, it is about the Christmas aspect. The whole point is his parents trying to get back before Christmas.
That's a good point.
Like the premise of the story is a child home alone at Christmas time, but because Christmas is that central factor of why they can't get back when they're trying, flights are booked up and canceled because it's Christmas time. He is big about Christmas and Christmas trees. Like the story itself is not telling a Christmas story, but it is about Christmas. He talks to Santa Claus and says like, the only thing I want for Christmas is my family. Like, you know what I mean? Like I think all of those details within the movie make it about Christmas.
Okay.
It's a kid being stuck home alone at Christmas time, but it's a Christmas movie because of all of the Christmas that is involved with the story.
And the family trying to get home for Christmas.
Exactly. Because with the Die Hard argument, where I agree, where this movie could take place at any point in time. It doesn't even have to be a holiday. This is a celebration. They say like it's a double where it's Christmas, but also it's in celebration of this big sale, right? So it's like that's really all the party needs to be is, yeah, we sold this company or we bought this company. It's a big deal. We're having this party. And that's the driving factor for why John comes in. Like no Christmas needs to be necessary. There's no need for it. All it lends itself is to a couple of jokes here and there where people are singing songs and he's dresses the dude up in freaking Santa stuff and says, ho, ho, ho. Like this is very much an alternative Christmas movie, whereas Home Alone, Christmas movie. Jen, you had your hand up, but then I kept going like a fool.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, with Christmas, when you hear a Christmas movie, you don't think of terrorists, you don't think of shooting, like you just don't think of any of that. So that's why for me, it's out. It's not a Christmas movie. I don't care about this alternative Christmas movie. I feel like that's like participation award. It's not a Christmas movie.
So what is your, like, when you think of Christmas movie, the first one that comes to your mind is?
Christmas with the Cranks.
Okay.
Or A Year Without a Santa Claus.
Okay.
Or Santa Claus.
Or the Santa Claus. Deck the Halls. Those are all Christmas movies. Bad Moms Christmas.
What makes them Christmas movies?
Like it's about Christmas. Like it's either like a family coming together or I'll be home for Christmas. You know, it's Christmas is the premise of the movie. This just has a few songs, and that's it. So they're calling it Christmas. Yeah.
I came prepared. Go Nick.
No, I just wanted to say that when you asked me the question about Home Alone, I was leaning towards yes, and then Matt basically kind of like expressed why my lean to yes is valid.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. And it's also with what Jen's saying too, is that the movie has to have some story that is central to Christmas itself. So I'm on the no or alternative definition that Die Hard is not it's not a Christmas movie.
So
No.
we're gonna break down Die Hard for you guys scientifically right now.
Okay.
There are 5 categories: Christmas trees, decorations, Christmas songs, use the word Christmas, and other Christmas references. In Die Hard, there are 19 different shots of Christmas trees. There are 15 decorations / references of Christmas. So mistletoes, nutcracker, what have you, something like that. There are 12 Christmas song moments, whether it's someone humming, the score, whatever. There are 14 uses of the word Christmas, and there are 4 other Christmas references. That's packing pretty heavy, in my opinion, for a movie that is debated, not debated as a Christmas movie. Go
Okay.
ahead. Was it Jen or Nick?
I think it was me first, but real quick. While those numbers sound good, I need some other examples of actual Christmas movies that have those same categories, and what are those numbers, right? Because I feel like for like maybe like A Christmas Story or National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, like whatever, like those movies, I'm sure they say the word Christmas like 50 times. or there's like scenes with like 30 decorations, or like I need some comparisons.
Good point. I don't have them.
Yeah, I know. I'm assuming you don't, but I'm just saying that don't make those numbers sound like they're big if they're really not.
Yes, Jen.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. There's a lot of numbers there, but I'm sure they're like 1 second, 1 second, 1 second.
I mean, some of it is.
So it's not like a Christmas movie where it's an entirety. 1 second. It's just like when I say Merry Christmas in March, and I want to watch a Christmas movie, that's what Die Hard is. It's just someone trying to be Christmas when it's not Christmas.
So as you can tell, Jen is very protective of Christmas.
I'm very protective of Christmas.
She's
It's not a
gatekeeping
Christmas movie. It is not a Christmas movie.
Matt?
For me, like these guys are saying, just to touch on it more, is like, it doesn't matter how many times you reference something if it doesn't matter towards the story. Like all of those references of like bringing up mistletoe or chestnuts roasting on an open fire, like none of that dialogue actually matters to the story. It's just there to be like, hey, it's Christmas time and this is what we're talking about. I'm making a reference to it being Christmas time. But those could all be replaced with lines that are anything. Those trees, all of the Christmas trees that you see could easily be jack-o'-lanterns or giant turkeys and cornucopias. Like they don't have to be there.
Yeah.
I don't even think there's a moment where like they use the Christmas trees.
One of them falls down.
And it would have
So it could be a tower. It could be a tower of anything. It could have been a freaking miniature of the Eiffel Tower. So that's really my argument. Is like it doesn't matter how many times something is brought up if it doesn't actually matter towards the story.
No, my decision, and like I said, I've seen this plenty of times. I think it's a brilliant comedy action movie that has heavily referenced Christmas, but it is not a Christmas movie.
Yay, we're 4-4. There we go.
I don't agree. Like, I don't know how I feel about the alternative Christmas movie thing that you had going on there, Matt, but
well, for example of bringing stuff up, we had brought up Thanksgiving movies at the beginning of this, right?
Right.
Like me considering Addams Family Values a Thanksgiving movie because there's one scene where where they're doing the first Thanksgiving.
Right.
Like, that's a stretch. I will admit, that is a stretch, but it is kind of important to the story, right? Because like, what's happening there is they're whitewashing the story of the first Thanksgiving, and Wednesday is like, no, we're taking this back and breaking out of this hellhole that you call a camp.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, it's a stretch. It is a stretch for sure, but you can call it an alternative Thanksgiving movie in the sense of like, it references it in a strong enough way that if you're so inclined to need a movie at Thanksgiving, why not give Addams Family Values a watch? If you're looking for a movie that's not the Santa Claus or I'll Be Home for Christmas or anything that's on Hallmark between July and January, why not watch Die Hard?
Yeah.
It's an alternative. I guess it's Christmas time movie versus a Christmas movie.
Yep.
However you want to look at that.
There you go, guys. We've solved the debate.
The answer is no.
We have reached our conclusion. Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. And if you got problems with that, send us a message. Hit us in the DMs. Let us know what you really think.
Yeah. Give us your thoughts.
If you have a problem with that, grab your torches and your pitchforks, and we're gonna go to the director's house and request his answer to this question.
I think my last argument for like it being Christmas movie, I can't remember which sequel, if it's the second or the third one. I think it's the third one, where just in order to keep the whole like, yeah, it's a Christmas movie thing going along. There's a deleted scene that takes place at Christmas time.
Oh, geez.
It's like they just shoehorn it in there to be like, it's still a Christmas movie. Like that's the level that you're putting it at. It's like, yeah, these movies don't have to be at Christmas. You're just doing it because that's how the first one went. And this debate has begun.
Yep. I will say there's a lot of references to Christmas for an action movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Probably the most any action movie has.
Did you, Brian, did you think that some of us were going to say yes, or all of us say yes?
No.
Or, okay.
No, I didn't think so. Because even me, I didn't think. I was like, I've come to the conclusion.
I thought you were going to say yes. Like, I think you were really pushing for the argument to say that yes, it is.
No, Yeah. I was playing the unbiased role to where you couldn't get a read on me as to which way I was going, and just trying to get as much information and pulling the conversation as much as I could.
Yeah.
I thought you'd say yes, and then we wouldn't be brother and sister anymore.
I still can't believe this was your first time watching it, Jen.
It's wild. All right. Now, Matt, we can do your thing.
It is that magical.
You guys have fun with all the specialties?
Yeah.
We're starting from the beginning in the middle of this podcast.
Yeah. I'm like, I have to go.
We're 2 hours and 20 minutes in.
Not wrong. So now that we are halfway through
Die Hard with the respect it gets, all right?
Yeah. Here's the thing though. I think once we get into this movie, we're going to bounce around like crazy, and it's not going to take us 2 more hours. But that being said, let's start at the beginning. A very good place to start. What did you guys think of this? I tried to actually pay attention because I knew that this was going to be something that I would have to address because it's my thing. And I thought it was really interesting. I've been trying to focus more in like research and study scripts a little bit more and focus in on these things. And I really love how this movie gives a lot of information without a ton of dialogue. Like it gives you exactly what you need to know about a character in a certain situation, but motivated. Like you can see right off the bat when we first are introduced to John that he is clinching the freaking armrest of this plane, and the guy next to him is very friendly and is like, he kind of softens him up a little bit and kind of breaking through some barriers, and you get to see him as a bit of a softer guy, right? Like, I mean, this is a dude, our first impression of him is that he is scared, right? Like, I mean, he doesn't look scared, but we know that he's scared. And then, he's going to leave and he grabs a giant freaking teddy bear, and the guy sees his gun and he's like, don't worry about it. I'm a cop. I've been doing this for 11. So, I mean, right off the bat, we know so much about him and he said so little. Mm-hmm. And it's just, I really enjoy how, we get all of that and how they kind of cut that together with everything that's happening with Holly at the Nakatomi building and all this stuff. Like we're learning stuff about her. We're learning we're getting good information, and while credits are rolling, like there's still names that are popping up on the screen as we're getting through this stuff. We get the introduction of, actually, I think before, we find out that Holly, we find out about the kids. We find out that she and John have been separated for 6 months. Like we get so much information that's important to their characters right off the bat and their dynamic. So I really appreciate all of that stuff, getting to meet Argyle and seeing, like, you get more of John's personality. You get to see him kind of joke around a little bit with a guy who's real friendly. So you get a lot that's going on. One of the things that I did find very interesting just from a character standpoint with John is, as the movie progresses, we do see and realize that, like, he loves his wife. He wants his wife to come back. He's made his mistakes, which he realizes towards the end and kind of goes on that. But this dude does a lot of rubbernecking at some of the beautiful women in California. Stands up, stewardess. Hey, how's it going?
And the stewardess gave him the eye.
That's true. I will say that she initiated, but like he looked back. He definitely looked back. Then you get him in the baggage claim, and you've got the little blonde who runs up to her boyfriend, looks at her.
Yep.
I mean, he and there's multiple occasions of this throughout the movie, with different motivations. But I thought that was an interesting thing. It was one of the things that I was kind of leaning into with I guess my character study of this watch. It's very interesting that, you know, like this is a guy that is in love with his wife. He wants her to come back, but also he has his flaws, and we see those flaws. We see quite a bit of them right off the bat. Go ahead, Jen.
That's interesting. What did you call it?
Rubbernecking?
Yeah, that you thought it rubbernecking, because I didn't get that impression at all. And for him, because he kept mentioning like California, I looked at it, he was like observing like the species of
I think he was judging, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't
But yeah.
so much, like checking out this girl and that girl. Like that, at least that was my impression. It was just like, where the heck am I? I am not in New York City anymore.
I'm with you in that, because like you said, he makes all those references and says all that stuff about California, but it's because that I noticed that it was women he kept looking back at. That's where I'm like, that's where it becomes more interesting to me. I'm not saying that like he's absolutely checking these women out, but he is double taking. He is looking at these women and lingering. So I don't know. Go ahead, Nick.
I'm like with both of you. I think he is like sort of checking them out, but not in the sense that like he wants to be with them, or like he doesn't love his wife anymore, or like he wants to move on. But he is also just people watching and just seeing the differences in women that are in California versus New York. Like, I feel like that's a very relatable thing. You go to a new city or new state and you just like observe, and you see beautiful women that maybe don't look like the same kind of beautiful women like where you're from, you know? And I think there's nothing wrong with any of that. But it's really great as a viewer to like see like that perspective of him, of just him kind of being human, you know, before being a cop or a detective, or before seeing like what he's about to do later in the film. Because he has a lot of these moments too where like after John has a conversation with somebody, he'll like start talking to himself or start talking out loud and like giving himself advice or giving himself a pep talk, or you know what he should have said differently, or whatever. And I do that. Like when I'm done talking to people off the phone, or if I leave like a party or something and I come home and I'm like, man, I should have said that, or why did I behave that way? Like it just shows that like how human he is and that we can actually relate to him. And so yeah, again, it's just really nice to see that in a character. Go ahead, Brian.
No, I agree. They do a great job of portraying John McClane as just your normal, average day guy. It's not like the crazy, you know, action heroes that people were striving on. It was, and I think this was like one of the game changers for what Die Hard did is it took away from like all action heroes have to be big, bulky, you know, Arnold, Sly Stallone, all that stuff, to where it's like, oh no, we're gonna change this. And then you can see the difference in as movies progress, because then you get basically the concept of Die Hard just in different movies. You know, we did Speed, that's basically Die Hard on a bus, or et cetera. And yeah, anyway, going to the intro, I did have two nitpicks on it. So one of them is I feel like the runtime of Die Hard is a little too long, and I feel that it is a little slow to start. before I think it takes like around 20 minutes before the villains have even entered the tower. And to me, there's just a lot of fluff that probably could have been cut off a little bit. And then the other nitpick about the intro that I wrote is the front. I can't believe this. The front desk has him type in Holly's name, and he types it in. And I don't know if you guys caught it or anything, but he's like, "Oh, she's on the 30th floor. They're the only people left in the building."
Yeah, that guy was an ass.
What are you making me type in the fucking name for?
I didn't even think about that.
Anyway, that's just a small nitpick and everything. But just overall, I feel like the intro, like, yes, it does do a good job at giving us information, but then it does a poor job of giving us too much fluff. So if we can just kind of condense that a little bit, probably would have been a little bit more on the money. What is the runtime on this thing? I think it's like 2.5.
2 hours and 12 minutes.
2:12?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, you could probably at least take that down to a 2 hour, even 1 hour 55, and I think you still haven't lost anything. Go ahead, Matt.
I mean, I won't disagree with you. I'm sure that there's a little bit of time and things that could be trimmed from the intro. But what you brought up that I really liked and was surprised by, because I didn't remember this before, is that touchscreen. It's freaking 1988, and this guy's rolling up, and it's a freaking touchscreen computer that's got directory and everything in there. It's got a freaking navigation. Here's how you get there. I'm like, damn, they had that in 1988. That's the part of like technology that still throws me off, because I mean, I grew up in the 90s and the 2000s where, I mean, the freaking computer boom is insane.
Yeah,
we went from, I mean, blocks of cell phones, like freaking a brick that you'd like have
Zach Morris.
Exactly. To I can have a freaking phone call on my watch now. Like that kind of like that level of expansion of technology blows my mind to think about, just in that time frame that I've been alive. And this is before me. Mm-hmm. It's almost before this entire group. And I'm still baffled by the level of technology that existed in the 80s, especially with computers. Also, because a lot of computer movies from the 80s that are bullshit, like, oh, I'm hacking, and like the way that they do all of this stuff. I'm like, a lot of that crap is just fluff and bullshit. And like, that's not how that happens. Yeah. But it's fun to watch. So I think that I've got like a lot of misinformation about the 80s and what computers were capable of at the time. So seeing this kind of stuff, it's always really cool to me. It's just like really, really fascinating that he's so casual. He's like, oh yeah, just type it in. No hesitations. Like, touchscreens. What? Okay. Good for you, man. Go ahead, Nick.
Just kind of a side thing about the intro. I guess mainly for Matt. What did you think of the actual title drop of the movie? I thought it was kind of weak.
That's your thing. You guys are big on the title drops.
I don't remember the title drop. I'll be honest.
It just slides in, and it's got the Microsoft Word font.
The problem with it is the fact that like it's the exact same size and font and color as all of the actors' names. So it blends right in with it.
Was it The Heat that did something similar? There was another movie that we did where the title drop is so easily missed because it
was like in the corner. It was like small in the corner. Yeah.
Was that Conan?
It could have been Conan.
Probably.
Could have been Conan. Yeah. I remember there was another movie that we did this. Totally missed the title drop.
But for this one, it just like the title drop was disappointing to me. It was just like Die Hard, fade. Like it was just, like it wasn't. Give it some oomph. Give it like Die Hard, yeah, or I don't know. Like,
well, and I feel like in movies like this, where if that's your intention is just to drop the title for a moment and then move on, just start with the title drop and then begin your credit sequence. That's like no problem. Like boom, Die Hard, fade to black, roll scene, and bringing your names all is like that's at least then there's no way people miss the title of your movie.
Yeah, it's just that they put it in the middle of the intro credits, and then it got lost in there. So,
yeah, I mean, you asked me, and I'm like, yeah, I don't remember it at all. I just said like I was paying attention to this intro because I knew I was going to have to.
Yeah. Well, all you did was just kind of prove my point. So
yeah,
case in point.
It sucks.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's just transition right into the scene in the movie. I think this one's pretty it's almost unanimous. Almost.
It's just one guy holding out.
Yep. But I mean, yeah. When you think of Die Hard, you can't help but think of Alan Rickman's face and everything. But even prior to that, though, like just everything that unfolds from when he hears, I mean, the dude has been through hell at this point, and he finally hears Holly's voice, and he's like, "I'm coming for you." And he's like, "How am I going to do this?" And he looks over at like Christmas gift wraps. And, you know, Nick, this was your first time, or no, second time. Jen, this was your first time. I mean, at this point, you're probably like, what idea does he have in his mind where Christmas gift wraps is like the saving grace type thing? And so then as he's entering, the way he screams Hans, it's just so funny. He just can tell he's like, I am so over this shit. and he's basically like dragging his leg. You can see the drag mark behind it if you look. It's so funny.
Holly's reaction is golden.
It's perfect. Like, he's like, wow, what the hell? Yeah. And so then, you know, he's got his gun, he's doing the fake out. No one knows that there's a gun taped behind him. And he throws people off with the laughs and everything. And you get more references about John Wayne riding into the sunset with the correction of the right actress and whatnot. And I mean, from just top to bottom, this scene is just incredible. And not only do they show like the close up of his face and everything, but then you get that medium shot of the body actually falling down. And I'm like, you know, most people, especially in 88, would you even expect them to attempt that is the question. And me personally, I was like, probably not, because even nowadays there's like current movies that have people falling and they don't really show it that way. So the scene is incredible.
It really is. It's so memorable to me because like you said, it's that look on Rickman's face where it's like that you can see the genuine fear in his eyes in that moment, and it's shot so well. Like you said, I mean, there's some sort of
gun coming and
everything about it. And I mean, it's the watch, right? Like, see the details. Oh, tell him about the watch. Tell him about the watch. It's a Rolex. It's like, well, she's gonna lose that Rolex. But it's a great culmination of everything that's happened before it, and like seeing John. I mean, like you said, it's insane what this guy has gone through, and that's the moment where it's like we're free, like we're right. Safe, like we're done. But it's the fucking the deputy commissioner's fucking line as they go to the wide shot and you can see him falling. It's like, I hope that wasn't a hostage. Fucking asshole. Like it's why I hate him as a character, but why I love him in this movie. It's like every time I watch this and he starts talking, I'm right there with Al where I'm like, you are a stupid motherfucker. Get your head out of your ass. Just fucking think, you idiot.
I guess they're going to need more FBI guys.
Oh my, yes. The worst freaking one-liners, but at the same time, it's like it's that random like comic relief that you need in a moment of intensity.
Yeah,
I mean, they they show Hans falling. We see the fall. We see him falling. We get our little quip, and then you see them all reacting to him landing. We never even see him land. Like it's
but you can hear it.
You can hear it, but you like that's those are the really cool things that they do in this movie. As graphic and as violent as this movie is. I mean, we see one guy break his neck. We see a dozen people get shot. There's blood everywhere. Like this is an intense movie, but it's like there's those little moments. It's like, okay, we can't go that far and show just a freaking body explode on the ground. So like, like they had their limits, right?
The kneecaps, though.
I don't remember the kneecaps.
The kneecaps getting shot,
like blown,
and then he falls into the glass.
I don't remember that.
Wow.
Who's kneecaps?
One of the bad guys.
The German people.
Yeah.
Oh God, which guy? I can picture this, but I can't think of the scene.
He's
the turtleneck dude.
He's running and he just catches bullets like right at the kneecaps, and it goes, and you get to see them basically.
His head falls into
and he falls right into the glass.
The shards of glass. It's right.
I remember that, but I don't remember the kneecaps part.
Wow.
Oh,
that's
there was
crazy.
a close up. Like it was all in your face.
Yeah,
I mean, you were in the splash zone.
Yeah,
I mean, I can imagine. I can't see it. I can't see it.
That's all right.
This is why you got to keep rewatching. There's so many good kills.
What you got, Jen?
Oh, I was thinking it doesn't have to be right now, but maybe a fun discussion topic would be, who do we hate more, the chief or the feds?
Oh, the feds for sure.
We'll put a pin in that. We'll go to Nick's scene, and then we'll go right to that question. Does that work?
Yeah.
Cool.
So I'm actually technically the same scene as you guys, but a different moment.
What was your title again?
Backdraw.
Backdraw.
So that's the where he's pulling the gun from.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
When I think of Die Hard, I think of that scene.
Okay.
And because he fools us, like we're tricked. We're like, oh my god, and then he just pulls it out. He has it taped onto his back, and nobody knows. And when he just does that quick draw at the back from his back, and it's just like it's the perfect way to kill a villain.
But so that's the problem, though, and I'm glad even though we just talked about this scene, I'm glad I really forgot to mention this because it is particularly to your moment.
Yeah.
One thing I don't like, and I thought that why did you guys do that? Is they have McClane there standing. At this point, we don't know that the gun is taped behind him.
Mm-hmm.
And then the camera shows the angle of the gun taped behind him. And then all of a sudden, it's now back into the action. And I'm like, why make that decision? Why not give the audience the what the hell moment of him? Like, we don't ever know that the gun is taped behind his back. And then he just goes and does the thing. Do you get what I'm saying?
Like he does it, shoots him, and then we, the audience, are like, "Whoa, what the
exactly?"
Fuck? And
but
then
the fact that you already showed me the
like
fact
the holster, like on his back, yeah.
And you showed me that the gun was taped behind his back. It just totally takes the element of surprise right out of me. Where I'm like, "Oh well, you've got that. They don't know you have that, so I know where this is going." But if I've never seen Die Hard, and all of a sudden, first time watching it. We're at this scene. I see him pinned. He's laying down the gun. I'm like, oh man, this might be it. I think he's out of moves. And then all of a sudden he starts laughing and then pulls a gun from his back. Like that's a shock moment right there that you just didn't see coming.
Some would say it's diabolical.
No, it's not diabolical.
I'm trying to think of another example, but for me, like in that moment of showing us the gun, it's. We're for the moment we're buying into the fact like he's been beat, right? Like he can't come out of this. And by giving us that shot, it puts us in on the side of things. It's like, Oh, like getting us like, but he's got him, and like it's the then it becomes the anticipation of him pulling the gun rather than just being surprised by him doing it. What are you making fun of me for, Jen?
Easy. Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. I know I made a face, so like, good. But yeah, like, I think that's the motivation behind it. It's to keep us on John's side. This is actually something that I would argue this movie is from John's perspective. So I don't want to jump too far of scenes, but there's a couple of times throughout this movie where there's certain shots or like cut to portions of like what they're showing us that's not a person or John himself, where I think it's them as like the director of the storytelling is like that's a clue to us that John is in on something, that he's got the edge, even though it doesn't seem like he's got the edge. Like for this, they show it like what they show us him seeing wrapping paper and tape right before he heads in there. Like that's okay. So that's the setup. But in the meantime, it's like, well, why would you show me that?
Yeah.
What is the point of that? And then to show us the gun taped to his back, it's like, oh, that's his plan. And then we get to watch it execute where he freaking, 2 shots and shoots. I mean, gets these guys. Like I don't know. I'm with you in like I can see that the other side of it where it's the surprise for even the audience of where this gun has been pulled from. But
I think it missed mark. That's all.
Well, and it's I think that it's there because it is from John's perspective. And that's why they show us. It's like it's to remind us or to let us know it's like he's got the plan. He is a step ahead, even though they think they're winning.
I think both work, honestly. Yeah. I think both ideas work.
Oh, I mean, they both work. I just would have liked it to not see it.
Watch the TV version. They cut that out.
Oh, okay.
But then they don't have any of the swearing mother flipper. Oh,
Monday, Friday.
Monday.
Oh my god.
Monkey fighting.
There are some bad dubs that they've come up with for this movie over the years. Jen, I'm sure if you got on YouTube or like all swear words that have been censored for TV and like you could find a video that's just a compilation of all of the horrible things that they've come up with to censor this movie. just so that they can put it on TV because that many people love it.
All right. So Jen, you had a head scratcher.
No, just a discussion topic.
Okay. Sorry.
Not a head scratcher. It's just talking.
Not a head scratcher. I'm just going to ask you guys a question, but it's not a head scratcher.
Not a head scratcher. It's more like an opinion.
Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
No. No. So, who do we think sucks more? The chief guy or the feds? I think
Good
the
question.
feds.
I think feds too.
The feds were so heartless. I thought they were the German people.
Like they were in on it?
Yeah, I thought they were because there was only 2 of them. I was like, this is so sketch. I was like, this is so sketch. I was like, who are these 2 guys? And then Hans kept saying, oh, the FBI, it's all part of the plan. And I was like, oh, they're totally in on it. And I was really surprised that, oh no, this is our actual federal. Good job, guys. This is the real deal here.
Okay. This feeds into a bit of a nitpick, but with you on this with the feds and stuff. So we've got the radio calls going, right? So Al is talking to John, John's talking to Hans talking to John. Like you guys are all in the same stuff. You can all hear each other.
Right.
Yet they're having these conversations like, oh yeah, nobody can hear me. Like John and Al have so many conversations with the implication that Hans is just listening to everything they say. but he's respecting them enough to have that moment. Like, that's nice, Hans. You're not such a bad guy, I guess. But within all of that, Al even says that would be the feds, and they are running the international terrorist thing to the T, like following the book. It's like,
to the book, yeah.
Okay, one, maybe you shouldn't say that on a line that people can freaking hear you, especially the bad guys. But at the same time, Hans already knows that they're running everything by the book. Like, it's okay. Here's what we're doing. Here's what we're doing. Here's what we're doing. And it's like, you freaking idiots. And my God, Jen, the feds are the worst for so many reasons. They threaten this guy's job to shut down a freaking 12-block grid just so that they can get the power off this one building on Christmas, just so that they can get this one building down.
Christmas Eve, get it right.
Whatever. And they are so tickled with themselves as they run off. Meanwhile, I think they even say it's like, oh, they're probably pissing themselves right now. Meanwhile, they're in the freaking vault getting everything that they wanted. And like, you guys are freaking idiots. They get in their helicopter, and Homeboy is way too excited about it. Just like Saigon, am I right?
Just like Saigon.
Yeah, like, okay, you were probably that psychopath that was in Vietnam that's nobody wants to talk about because you were just like, let's kill everyone.
Yeah.
You freaking crazy person. But then they're having the discussion, like the true heartlessness of it, of like, okay, here's the plan. We may lose 25% of the hostages. I can live with that.
I can live with that.
That's when I was like, you guys suck. Like, that was it. That drew the line.
They did not care. They would have been better off just blowing up the entire building themselves. Just topple the building and call it a day. Hey, success. We got rid of the terrorists. Like, that would have been a victory to them. Meanwhile, I would say deputy guy, he's just an idiot. Like, I mean, he sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say just real quick.
An idiot. The feds were horrible people.
The scene that you just talked about, I just wanted to give you my title because you guys like my titles.
Yes.
This one, birds of a feather fuck up shit together.
Nice.
Because they're, chopper birds. Anyway.
Yeah. The worst. No,
I definitely agree with both of you guys. The FBI is by far worse, but I mean, honestly, it is they're very, very close together as to staying in the same playing field here, because Dwayne Robinson is so bad. I put him in as a nitpick. Like, he was just an individual nitpick for me. This guy just really got in everybody's way. He had no idea what he was doing. Like, he was the one that was the first to tell you, I'm in charge here. I'm running. It's like, bro, you're running this straight into the fucking iceberg is what you're doing.
Nice.
Yeah. This guy is terrible. I think what, like, the nail in the coffin for me every time is when they've got the lights on and then they start shooting the lights.
I know exactly what you're about to say.
Officer Powell is like, they're gonna go after the lights, and he's just like, he's completely, Officer Powell, he knows what's going on.
Yes.
He's got his shit together. He's got his guy in the building. Everything is going fairly smoothly with them. And then the minute everyone else shows up, it's just like, what are we doing, guys? This is like 80 million cooks in one kitchen, and everyone is fucking up the sauce. and all of a sudden, he's like, they're going after the lights. And then he shoots a couple of times, and then the guy's like, they're going after the lights. Like, it's like this groundbreaking discovery for him. You know what? It also reminds me of, Matt, you'll appreciate, somebody hates these cans.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, man. And just God. Everything he's doing is just like basically derailing the operation. And then once, the FBI rolls in, they're just derailing it as much as everyone is just really just bad, just really, really, really bad job on the Nakatomi Tower crisis going on here. And you could even throw in the same for the news people as well, and the choices that they're making.
Homeboy deserved that punch to the face.
He deserved more.
I agree.
He deserves like imprisonment. There's no way what he did. You know, freedom of speech and everything, but bro, you crossed some lines. I'll keep ranting. Go ahead, Matt.
Oh my God. I will just on that. Like, you do not show up at hostages' house to interview their children. Are you insane?
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Like, that is not okay on any level.
And threatening with the INS, like, get the fuck out of here.
So much fucked up about that. Like, yeah, that dude deserves so much more. But one of the things I love, God, what's his name? Dwayne Johnson?
No. Dwayne Robinson.
Dwayne Robinson. Another reason, like, I don't like these names. I'm like, these don't seem like your name.
Although DJ was in trouble on a skyscraper, so I'll give you that.
I'm not tracking.
Dwayne Johnson, The Rock.
Oh yes, okay. Now I'm with you.
Okay.
Now I'm with you.
Apparently, we just forgot his name.
Well, you said DJ, and I was like, who?
Go way back.
Who's DJ? Well, I immediately went to freaking Full House DJ.
Oh.
So like, I'm so lost here. But with Dwayne, I think one of my favorite moments is when John is on the radio with them and he's calling him out for everything. And I mean, everybody on the radio hearing all of this stuff. Even I think freaking Argyle realized that, like, oh, it's CB, I can listen to this. He's hearing all this stuff. And I can't remember the full quote, but is like the whole I'm not the one who just got butt fucked on national TV. Like, that whole spiel that he just,
it's incredible.
Oh, he ripped him a new asshole, and rightfully so. And then he just like, hey, he wants to talk to you. It's like, yeah, you fucked up. Get the hell out of here, dude.
Yeah, but then even then, Officer Powell's like, "How you doing?" And he's like, "I'm feeling pretty unappreciated right now, Al."
Well, that's still early on in like he and Al's like relationship, but
bromance. It's a bromance.
It's a bromance. It's a bromance. I mean, he saw him from across the room, and he knew that's my boy Al. That's my boy. He knew. But yeah, that tongue lashing that he gives Dwayne is fucking fantastic.
Yeah. So I think it sounds like final answer would be FBI sucks, but Dwayne Robinson is, I mean, on their tail.
Oh my God.
And the news crew is on Dwayne Robinson's tail. Killed. They're all just a little cluster.
God, he almost got 4 people killed just out of freaking ego.
What?
Dwayne, he almost got 4 people killed just out of ego.
Oh yeah.
He tells you there's 7+ terrorists in there. You're gonna send 4 guys in like that. Come on, dude. I've told you what kind of weapons they've got. I've told you what kind of explosives they've got. Do you think I'm not fucking serious?
Yeah.
I think the saddest part is he drops that C4 and he only takes out 2.
Yeah.
He only took out 2.
Yeah, but
big explosion, but only 2.
But screens and windows.
Yeah.
And glass.
Oh, 2 floors, you mean, right?
No, 2 people.
No, 2 hostages.
Oh, 2 people. I got you.
Yeah, he took out 2 of the terrorists.
I will say one. Sorry, Jennifer, to go with Matt. I will say one thing. Dropping the C4. All right, I'm just gonna cut and dry this one. McClane is scorched. He's absolutely scorched. There is no denying that. You drop a C4 and you are stupid enough to look down the elevator shaft and wait for the big ball of happy fire to come up, only to where it basically goes right over your back. The amount of heat and everything that thing has, no. Dude's got 3rd degree and the movie's done. We are done.
The movie's done.
They got way too, like, in my opinion, on the filming, they showed me that he was way too close to the fire. And it's probably one of my biggest nitpicks of Die Hard is the fact that dude should not even be walking. And he's just like, no, I'm good. It's fine. I dropped a bomb, C4, blew out a fucking one floor, killed two things. Fireball went up here, but all in all, peaceful. Merry Christmas. Go ahead, John.
Well, now I have two things. So when he dropped the C4, so my movie froze. So it's like I saw the explosion of the building, and I heard it, but then it paused. Is that how the movie is? Does it pause, or do you see more? Because I heard like John McClane saying things like, oh, like kind of like moving around, but then it was just stuck on that frozen ball.
Oh no, you had a glitch.
It froze,
it
right?
probably froze.
And I was like, wait. And then all of a sudden we're back on the ground. I was like, wait. I was like, what was that part of the movie? It's kind of weird.
I would love if it was a moment of like it froze, and then he's like, "You may be thinking how I got here."
Right.
It all started
like
when I flew to
thing.
California.
It was just like that, like because it wasn't like it didn't show like the full explosion. It was like mid explosion, frozen, and then all of a sudden we're back on the ground, and I'm like, wait, how did we get there? Like, so okay, well,
They'll tell you now.
So now I have to watch it, and hopefully it doesn't freeze. But the other people that irritated me was the dispatchers.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. They're on the list too, guys. They're on the list too.
No fucking shit, lady. Do I sound like I'm ordering a pizza?
Yeah, especially when they hear the gunshot. She's like, oh my gosh, that's so loud. It's like, well, it's probably a prank. You should go back. I'm like, what the heck? They suck.
Really bad job, dispatchers, too. Like, man, the group just keeps collecting. It seems like Officer Powell and John McClane are pretty much the only ones that know what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
I wish that with the dispatchers they did a better job of making it clear that, like, because they hear something, right? Like it's some loud noise that they respond to, and it's like, if it's gunfire, if it is the gunfire that you're hearing, you should know what gunfire sounds like. You would be a lot more involved and like, yeah, we got to send up somebody over there, rather than be like, see if there's a black and white that we can dispatch out there. I'm like, no. So I as a bit of a nitpick, I wish that they would make it more clear what it is they heard. Like, even if it's just a line of like, what the hell was that? Or like, was that an explosion? Like, just some sort of reaction to the sound that's dialogue to make it clear what they heard. Because otherwise, like, there's no way I'm buying into the fact that you heard this and you're not responding more strongly.
Mm-hmm.
Can we also break down the facts? By now, there has been a fire alarm that went off that was then said, no, just kidding, it's all good. Someone screaming on the radio talking about how they're under attack, and yet they're not taking seriously. So nobody has to say if I'm ordering a pizza. And then simultaneously, you hear gunfire. Everyone's just going to be like, wow, just pretty crazy night in Nakatomi, huh?
Like, gosh, just another, that must be that holiday party in the big sale. Like,
what type of party do they got?
What the heck?
Anyway, yeah. So I agree, Jen. Just people just really not doing their jobs at all on this one.
No.
It's Christmas time. Nobody wants to.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll add to this discussion. Like, I don't agree or disagree with anything that you guys are saying, but I really think that the writers of this film really wanted to make like LAPD in general, like the chief, the dispatchers, all of them seem like they just don't know what they're doing, or they're not equipped to handle like a situation like this. Because even when they bring in like the artillery, like Humvee big car or whatever, to crash it through the front of the building, it's going like, I don't know, like 5-10 miles an hour, and they got fucking rocket launchers like shooting down at them. And it's like like this agency is not equipped for anything like this,
Wait,
And I think that they really did that just to highlight the fact that John McClane is the one that's going to save them all. You know, that outside help is not going to be helpful. That outside help is bad help, essentially.
right? It's no help. It's making the situation worse every time.
Exactly, and that adds to like the chaoticness of
why I love Die Hard so much is because the people you look out to are just fucking everything up.
Exactly, yeah. So like, yes, while we can like shit on these people, you know, but like it just adds to that. It just adds to all of it.
So I'm just gonna roll with Nick here. You brought up the scene of them attacking with their tank and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I did have a question about that one. You said it was the front of the building, right?
Or at least I thought it was.
I don't think it is, and this is what throws me off every time. Why are they going the route that they went? If you look, the route that they went, that they decided to go after this building, is up like 4 different things of stairs and the railing. Steps. And I'm like, why not go to the big donut that's flat and just you can plow right on into the glass building? I don't know why you're trying to climb stairs and beat down railings, and you clearly get stuck. And I'm just like, what was the point here?
Okay, see, and here's my thing with this too. Like, what was their goal with this? Like, were they going to drive this up on the elevator and go all the way up to the 30th floor? Like, what? like what was their goal with this? I
think they just wanted entrance in the building, and then they would probably flank out and you know go into tactical maneuvers from there. But
they needed to get helicopters.
I can never understand the thought process of trying to climb like, I don't know, 30 stairs and very thick railing in between it. It just never made sense.
What they should have done was get the helicopters out there to like visually scope out the area first.
Right.
Because I think they bring the helicopters in later.
Well, yeah, much later.
That was and so FBI. I just like, I don't understand what their goal was with the artillery. Like at first, it just didn't make sense to me. And then the fucking like 4 SWAT guys that just like run up to the doors, and then they all get shot. Like they were like, it was like fish in a barrel. Like they just were open, and like they were not on guard, or they didn't have each other's backs or like in position. They were just like in front of the doors, and then and then they all got shot. And I'm just like, none of these people are trained to do their job. So I don't know.
All right. Does anyone have anything, or am I picking something here?
I mean, I got stuff, but
now you're muted. You do that a lot.
I do. It's because I'm focused on other things, and I apologize.
Be present. Be present.
I am present. That's why I'm listening to you guys. It's so I don't talk over you.
Oh. We appreciate that.
Exactly. I know that I have a habit of like not shutting up, so I physically shut myself up. Does anybody have a kicking off point that they'd like to start us off with?
Sure. We just talked about the scene with the tank and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I looked at my notes and I forgot I had titled that scene.
Okay.
The action outside is frightful.
Ain't that the truth? I just, as you bring that up, I was not happy when that song showed up. So I think it's Al is like humming and singing it as he's leaving, or
it showed up a couple times.
Yeah, I don't know why, but that particular song showing up in this movie, I was like, no, stop it. I hate this song. I can completely derail unless if you had something more you wanted to go with the scene.
I mean, I have a couple notes or more notes about scenes, but no, because we already talked about the scene. So
just as far as like Christmas songs go, when Argyle puts on the Christmas rap, And John says, don't you have any Christmas music? This is Christmas music. And then the rap kicks in, and it's like, okay, I'm jamming, like I'm loving this. And I wrote down, I was like, I would much rather listen to this Christmas rap than Mariah Carey any day. I'm so tired of the freaking song.
Yeah.
So like to hear a Christmas song, Christmas rap that I'd never heard before or never really noticed before, I'm like, I'm in this. Thank you.
Yeah.
Something
It
new.
works.
The new Christmas song that's already driving me insane is the freaking Marshmallow one. In a marshmallow world, whatever the hell
It's
it is.
not new.
I know that's I'm saying new as in that's the one that's pissing me off now.
Oh, that one's pissing you off.
Yes.
That's my mom's favorite Christmas song. So thanks.
I hate Christmas songs. I am the Grinch when it comes to Christmas songs. I hate walking into a store or a restaurant and I'm hearing Christmas songs. I hate it. Hate it.
I love it.
Hate it.
Man, you just mentioned that scene, and see, I just picture Will Smith in it, and damn it.
It should have been his rap.
What's up, Jen?
Oh, there is this. So one good thing about the newscast people was that Argyle finally realized what the heck is going on. But I was like, I would forget about him, and then they would just they like bring him in the words are hard like in the film.
Yeah.
And oh, what was I gonna say? It was just funny. And I remember I was like, there you go, Argyle, now you're with it. But I was also thinking like how he's very patient. He's just having his own little party.
Dude.
Like for hours and hours. Like Johnny's just like, whatever, I'll wait all night. It was so funny. I loved his character.
Well, while I 100% agree with you, Jen, how does he not hear any of this going on?
He's
like
crazy.
None of the
party in the car. Right?
But like there's fucking explosions from rocket launchers happening. Like he doesn't feel that like in the car. Like if we're taking hearing out of the equation, he doesn't see like the red and blue flashing like off reflections. like it doesn't make any sense. Also, who the hell waits this long and like doesn't get concerned? It's been like, I mean, it's been hours, right? Like the sun has set at this point. Like, it makes no sense to me. And while I get it, like he's having a good time, it's funny, like it just doesn't make sense to me. Like it doesn't seem realistic. And I need somebody to either back me up or disagree. Because I got fighting words coming. Go ahead, Brian.
I can think of is as a rebuttal. It's like technically he was like underground, right? Like in a parking garage. So he maybe he just couldn't see anything, and that might have also hollowed out the noise a little bit, like muffled it. It's a stretch.
I mean, it's not totally invalid, you know. Yeah. Go ahead, Brian.
Okay, so the Argyle conversation. I knew we were gonna have it.
Yeah, no, this needed to happen.
Okay, so first of all, the dude is living his best fucking life. It's unreal with what he's doing in that limo. He's talking to him. He's like cheering looking at the stuffed animal, saying, "Don't judge me" or whatever he says. Like, and just cranking music. I just love when at one point, if I remember correctly, he's got the music cranked, and Officer Powell is like going with his issues and in the background, and he's just like, yeah, man, I'm just in my limo, just bumping. He's going through he's got a bar in there, like champagne, whiskey, wine. Like he's just having the time of his life. Now, to kind of argue against Nick a little bit, you have to think of the timeline here. So he's doing his thing, and then all of a sudden he catches the news that Nakatomi Plaza is under attack, and he's like, I'm at Nakatomi Plaza.
Yeah.
And when he hears that, that's when he jumps into the driver's seat. He gets in an argument with his bear, and then he goes to park the car away. And this is before any explosions or anything like. I don't even think they've attacked the tanks yet, right? So they just know that the terrorists are there, and so that's when he's like, yeah, I'm gonna pull out of here. This isn't a good spot to be anymore. And that's when he goes like underground. So at that point, from there on, he knows that there's danger in the tower, and so he's not gonna come out of his mole hole at that point, which I don't blame him.
He was trapped.
So I think it's very, very plausible with everything that happened with him.
Okay.
Matt.
Well, like Jen said, he when he leaves, he realizes that the garage it's caged up. Like there's no real way for him to get out of there. Mm-hmm. So then it just kind of becomes the situation of, well, this is where I'm at. And you can, and like you said, I do, because it's the news that he hears it from, and then that's when he realizes he's got CB and he can catch up on all that stuff.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
I think that's right before the RVs show up, because the RV would be, actually, I don't know, because the RV being exploding, that might have happened before.
No, the news shows up the minute the minute Officer Powell is freaking out on the radio saying that he's under attack, and they turned his car into Swiss cheese.
True.
And he wants backup and everything. So everyone hears that over the radio, and they're like, okay, we got some shit going on at the tower. Let's go. And so officers, that's when you actually get the full-on response from the LAPD. And then the news shows up, and they're like, oh great, the news is here. And now we're off.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But yeah, I think, yeah, he does become aware when it's really fair for him to become aware.
There hasn't been any serious explosions or anything like that. Yeah.
And he's trapped in that parking garage. I mean, we see even at the end, like the only way he gets out of there is because he drives through the cage.
Yeah.
So he's trapped in there, and he's just kind of along for the ride at that point. But with all of that being said, I think, Nick, you brought it up. I'm like, the dude's waiting for a long time. I mean, I'm sure in his mind, he's like, I'm getting paid to just be here anyway, right? Like, as long as this guy has me available, like that means I'm on the clock.
Well, and isn't that how limo drivers work? It's not like Uber where you just drop them off and go. It's like you're with them for however long the event is.
Well, and he also told, I mean, yes, that's probably true, but he also tells him, he's like, I'll if it doesn't work out that you're going to go back to her place, let me know.
Yeah.
I'll get you a hotel. Like, I'll get you to a good hotel. So like either way, he's waiting for John to come out of that building. Like he's there until that happens.
Yeah.
So it just works out, man. And I love that while he's in there having his little party, as like the shooting and all that stuff begins, he's calling up girls and is like, of course I'm going to see you later tonight. I just, my boss thinks I'm heading to Vegas. Like, it's just, he's spitting so much game. He's having the time of his life. He's definitely diving into that freaking open bar. So he's having a great time. He's such a fun character. I do wish that there was more though. Because he is a fun character. I wish he was able to do more. That you get a couple of fun moments with them, but ultimately he's just kind of here and there. It's a little bit disappointing. I think it was Brian.
Yeah, I agree. I think we could use a little bit more Argyle in this one. The moment that just it kills me every time is when Pal is trying to escape because the body just dropped on his car, which I've titled "It's Raining Man."
Yeah,
terrible.
In the best way.
And he just hits the gas and just he's basically going 70 miles per hour in reverse. And you get the scene where Argyle is just having a fucking dance party in his limo, and the cop car is just like, and he has no idea, no clue that this is all going on around him. And oh man, it's so funny. And then Officer Powell's reaction, I don't know what made him just keep going in that straight line of like, it's like he wasn't even trying. I think his mindset was, the further away from this building I get is the best, and so let Jesus take the wheel. But yeah,
I mean, he was probably just panicking at that point,
Yeah.
like not thinking rationally. Also, like that is one of my favorite gags in any like comedy scene, is like you hear the loud chaos and commotion of something happening. And then you cut to like that happening in the background, and it's like muffled,
right.
you know, and then but you're like focused on like the person being like, yeah, you know, the total opposite. Like those are some of my favorite bits in comedy. But I kind of want to bring back to like, you know, using more, like getting more Argyle, is that I wonder how like his character would have influenced the whole situation if he actually got out of the car, like got out of the limo. Like, you know, if we're saying like, yeah, he's been in there for a long time, like maybe he would have a suspicion of like, I hope everything's okay with John McClane, you know. So maybe he gets out of the limo, goes into the tower just to see, you know, to check up on him or whatever, because it probably would be like that John is taking longer than normal.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wonder like how if Argyle had done that, how much that would have changed the situation. You know, like if the Germans and Hans like saw him on the CCTVs, like if he thought that if they thought that he would be like an undercover cop or something, or like a detective, or if like LAPD thought that Argyle was like one of the Germans, you know, like just how they would have seen him like outside of that limo. Just food for thought.
Yeah.
But then he wouldn't have been there to punch homeboy in the face.
True.
Just saying.
Oh, after he runs the limo into the van?
Yeah.
Or was that before? Yeah. That is true.
I got a head scratcher for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Would Han's plan have worked if McClane wasn't there?
Probably. Yeah.
I think he gets away with it cut and dry.
Oh, for sure. Here's what I was trying to think about though, was did he have to do it during this Christmas party? I mean, like ultimately what it boils down to was he needed the power to be cut in order to get that last thing done. And is there a way for him to do that without having to take a bunch of hostages? Like, I think
no, there's not, because he acts like he's the good guy and no one has to die. The end result is everyone's dying.
Yeah, but I mean, but that's my point, is I think that there's a way to execute every other aspect of his plan without the whole terrorist bit. Because I mean,
no, there's not, because his plan is take him to the rooftop.
Yeah.
And get the choppers there. And that's everyone thinking that that's gonna be his escape plan and all that stuff. And then the roof goes off, or you know, the roof blows up the choppers. And his whole thing is, now everyone thinks I'm dead, and so they're not gonna look for me.
Yeah.
So how do you get the choppers and everything to the roof if there's no hostages?
Well, that's his escape plan, and that's where I'm fighting myself on this. Of like, I agree that's the big payoff of this whole situation of let's take hostages, let's kill people, let's blow stuff up. But with the information there is for how they steal this money, is there not a more effective way of doing it? That's where I'm curious, because they break through. Was it the first seven things of security
or six?
On their
Sorry,
own.
6. Yeah.
Either way, they break through those on their own.
Yeah.
But they have the problem of is the last one that's got the firewall, whatever crap up that's preventing them from getting there. So they cut the power off. Now they're in. Is there a way that they can get that power shut off without having to be terrorists? Because this building is still under construction.
EMP.
We need a, God, what does he call it?
Ocean's 11.
It's Ocean's 13.
Oh, you're right. It is 13. Yeah.
Called a pinch.
Yes, a pinch.
Yes. So that kind of furthers my point of like is there a way to execute everything else without having to do the hostage thing? Because getting into the safe, they can get through the first bits on their own. And like I said, this building is still under construction, meaning there's these unfinished floors. There's only one floor of people that's available to take hostage. And that I'm sure that was done for the plan of this, but couldn't you do that after hours? Or couldn't you have tried to do this earlier on when there's still some more floors that are under construction? In which case you could pose as the construction workers, right? Of like, hey, we've got to do blah, blah, blah. We need the power shut off between blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Like I feel like there's a lot other more clever, sneakier ways of how you could still execute the plan and get away with it without anybody ever knowing they were robbed.
Yeah.
I have a question
about
the power.
Yeah.
So there's the scene where the guy is like doing a bunch of rewiring of stuff, and then one of the other German guys like comes with the chainsaw and just like cuts all those wires off. Was that them attempting to shut off all the power? Or were those like telephone lines?
I think it's killed the telephone lines, so no calls.
Is that what those were? Okay.
Yeah, I think it was a combination of things. It wasn't all power. But what I didn't understand about it was, one, why is the guy cutting through the thing when he tells him, wait, and then he has to panic and quickly snip another wire? What was that all about?
Yeah. I don't know.
Like there was a random moment of tension there. And I think those guys were brothers, but there's that random moment of tension of this guy panicking to snip this wire or lock this wire before he cuts through all of these things. It's like, why?
Yeah.
Like, I get that he's panicking and we see all of that, but I don't understand why. So
it also leads to the question is the fire alarm goes off. They've already cut down all telephone connection, yet Han says to call them and tell them that it was a false alarm.
And maybe that's what he's clipping is like whatever he's doing is essentially a hot wire situation of like, here's the lines that we need so that we have access on the lines that we're using. Because it's just, I think the guy that's calling, it's the security guard. It's the only place where they're like, okay, we need to maintain the reality of this place. So if somebody comes in, we can send them away, or we can, prove to them like, yep, everything's fine. No worries here. But that's not made clear.
Yeah.
Brian, to your point later on of like hiding the gun behind his back. It's like, yeah, you shouldn't put all of your cards out on the table right away. Keep some things hidden.
Yeah.
I have a new scene.
Let's hear
it. That's Brian, you might have a title for it, but it's when John is trying to climb through the elevator shaft and using the gun as like a grappling hook. Man, what a dire, intense, like fear for life moment.
McClane is pretty shafty.
Nice. I knew you would have a title for it. I knew it.
I got some comment. Let's hear your comments, but I
I'll
definitely
just
have some comments on that one.
It's just the moment that you see. I mean, like as the scene plays on, you keep seeing like the weapon like through the vent, like getting tighter and tighter, and the like the holster rope thing like starting to get tighter and tighter. Like that was like a true like I'm on the edge of my seat moment. Yeah. But then when he does make that leap over and the gun like essentially falls through and he's falling, and then he eventually like latches onto the edge with his hands, like that is scary. that's some scary shit to be doing, because like you could have just died if you didn't grab onto that ledge. And man, it's just so well done. And the fact that he does all those stunts himself, like it's just really cool. No, he didn't do those.
Both of your heads just started.
That wow. Sorry, I'm just flabbergasted. Go ahead.
We're just really good.
Whoever was first.
Brian, do you have the fun fact on this?
Yeah.
Then I'll let you take it.
Okay. I saved it because I figured we'd talk about the scene eventually.
Yep.
Nick, this is probably gonna make you even twice as shocked now. So one, it wasn't Willis, it was a stuntman.
Wow.
And they really lucked out on this because the stuntman was trying to do the scripted stunt and messed up, missed it, and caught the ledge. So what you see was pure accident, but pure gold for the film.
Wow.
They're just like, oh crap, we're keeping this. This is amazing. We're done. No more takes needed.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that makes that scene even cooler now.
Exactly. No, I think the original was he was just supposed to like drop one level or something like that, and the stuntman actually during filming missed, and basically what you see is what happened to the stuntman, where he missed and then just held on to the first ledge that he got.
That's amazing.
Now, I don't know how high the elevator shaft was or what safety, because I know for a fact that it's 1988, but I know for a fact they're just not going to a 30-floor tower and being like, all right, man.
I mean, they might 25.
The name's Die Hard, so let's see if you're going to live hard.
Okay, well, here's my thing. Here's why I thought that it would have been Bruce Willis doing that, was because I'm sure it's like 5 feet is the ground below him, and it's just like green screen or set design or whatever. And I was like, yeah, like I could do that, like why would you need a stuntman? But I guess it's still too unsafe, I guess, for regular actors.
But the stuntman messed up, caught the edge the way he did, and they're like, that's a wrap. We're just gonna move right on.
That's so cool. I love it.
I know. Really, really cool.
Yeah.
And can you like just the use of a gun though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like who would have thought of that? So cool. Like, okay, let's just put a gun braced up against, and then the strap now becomes what he's gonna do to hang on. And you can just see the desperation that he has as he's like trying to pull with all of his might, but he's pulling the gun into the wall, and he's reaching for the other side, and he's like, it's close away. And oh man, they really nailed that scene.
Yeah.
My biggest problem with it though is, why would you sacrifice the gun like that?
Tough move, right?
Well, that's what it was for me. I understand that you're kind of in this desperate situation of needing to escape, but you gave away your big gun. You gave away your big gun.
Yeah.
And I think he's lucky that he's able to kill these other guys and take theirs. But at the same time, he's still only carrying one gun at a time. You ever notice this?
Yeah.
Like I'm at least take those machine guns and move them somewhere to where it's like, okay, here's my secret stockpile of their weapons. So when this one runs out,
nice.
Get to it. Like,
right.
Like, or carry them all for all I care. But like, I don't know. I don't know, or at the very least, no, get rid of the guns. Get rid of the guns. Like, keep the ammo, toss the guns. That's all you need.
Didn't he have the gun on? But didn't he have the gun on his back the whole time? Like he always had a spare.
No,
or did he add that later?
He had his gun. Like that is his police issued gun.
Mm-hmm.
He always has on him.
Yeah,
always has that gun. But the machine gun he loses there. I think he gets at least another one when he kills the 3 other guys. I think in the office again. So like, I mean, he gets the guns back, but is it worth it? Like he after that scene, I think he's caught in the vents, and like he is so close to being caught that like he's got his guns like, don't catch me, don't catch me, don't catch me. Like that's all you've got to rely on, whatever bullets you've got left in that freaking gun. So go ahead, Brian.
Well, 2 things. One is I always loved in Die Hard how they make the big thing of him dropping the dude down the elevator, the dead dude, you know, the ho ho holiday message. and he makes it a big deal. Like, now I have a machine gun, ho ho ho. The very next scene, the machine gun is gone.
Yep.
He loses it in like 3 minutes, which it just cracks me up. But you were talking about just the I guess we can his like wardrobe, right? Where he's how come he only has one gun or any, you know, stuff like that. The other question that I had, and I know he tries once to get shoes. But McClane, why are we barefoot this entire movie? You have wiped out at least there's 12 terrorists, and I think you killed every single one of them by the end of the movie. You only tried one out of 12 pairs of shoes here. You also had a ton of hostages that you were near. Maybe one of them would have liked to lend you some shoes. I just don't understand why he decided to go barefoot this entire time.
Why would he never try and make it back to the bathroom that had his clothes in it?
That's a wonderful question too. Yes. He backtracked to the same room that he saw the boss die. I was like, okay, so we're back here. Why get some fucking shoes?
That wasn't on his priorities.
And I guess not. But sitting down and you know, smoking cigarettes, waiting for LAPD to do their job.
Well, and then just to add to that too, like Hans uses that to his advantage. He tells his guards in one scene, like, shoot the glass windows, shoot all the glass windows, because he saw that he was barefoot.
Exactly.
And that would make it harder for John to get around. It's like, come on, dude.
Yeah. Are you thinking about the scene, Jen?
Yeah.
The bathroom scene?
I just imagine what he went through to even get to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Yeah, that shard in the bottom probably did not feel good.
Yeah.
I heard rumor that they had sound effects when you pulled out. And one of the producers or whoever were like, we gotta cut that. That's too real.
Wow. It's crazy.
Let's see, what do I have here?
Matt, you were about to say something earlier. Did you?
I don't remember.
No, okay. No.
Who rides in the front of a limo?
John McClane. Someone with trust issues.
He's never ridden a limo before. How would he know?
You pick the front.
He's never ridden one.
You know, he's talking shit about California, but fucking New York, man. Riding in the front of limos.
And hey, Argyle's never driven one before, so yeah.
Yeah, but at least he expected the dude to be in the back.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
Sorry, you guys got me looking for it now. I'm trying to find a good picture of his barefoot shoes.
Okay, here's a small nitpick. And I want to see what you guys think about this one. I think some of the best moments of Die Hard is when they're letting Bruce Willis talk to himself when no one's around. I love every moment of it. Every single time he's just basically on Castaway, right? Like he's either, why didn't you go after them, John? Because you'd be dead too, asshole. Or he's in the event, come to the coast, get together, we'll have a few laughs. Like when he's cooking like that, I'm like, God, this movie is just perfect. That said, I don't think they did it enough. This dude he's been by himself the entire time in the tower. Give me a few more scenes where he is talking to himself or trying to figure out plans or being sarcastic, Bruce, like whatever it is. Just give me a few more of those scenes because they are gold. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, so one of my favorites is when he's in the vents and he just goes, "Man, now I know what a TV dinner feels like."
I knew that was your favorite line.
That made me laugh a little too hard than I needed to because like it's so true. You take the most random thing and it connects perfectly with what. Because you think about, I was thinking about like what if I was a TV dinner?
I'm imagining myself out of that lean cuisine.
Yeah. What if I was a banquet country chicken steak or whatever? And then picturing that and then seeing him in the event, he's basically like wall to wall, ceiling to floor.
Yeah.
I was like, you can't get a better analogy for that. It's so good.
No, it's so like I said, every moment, every time he's doing something, whether it's venting or making a joke or whatever, and it's just solo Bruce, I'm like, I can't be any happier right now.
What's the thing that he says after he's talking to his wife in the room, but when they have that fight, when they're like, oh. She's like, "Oh, I'm so glad you came," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm so glad to be here too." And then they started getting into like a argument, and she leaves the room, and then he looks at the mirror in the bathroom, and then he says something. I can't remember what he says.
Oh yeah. It's
He's like, real smart. Why'd you say that?
Something like that. Yeah.
Real mature asshole or something like that.
Yeah.
But Matt,
it's because he starts getting all indignant about like her leaving.
Yeah.
He's got great character growth when you really look at it.
Oh, that's a good point.
Well, I love how I think it's Argyle calls him out and he's like, so you thought that she'd come out here for 6 months, fail, and she'd be crawling back to you, and he's like, very perceptive, Argyle.
Yeah.
he didn't expect her career to actually take off. And God, it was such an interesting moment where they have that little argument because you can see that like I think what sets him off is Ellis, because that guy's a fucking idiot, but like he's the guy that kind of like sets off his anger. And that's what causes him to kind of be an asshole and be a dick to her. Because I don't think that was his ultimate goal. And by the end of this movie, when he's like saying like, she's heard me say, I love you 1,000 times, but she's never heard me say, I'm sorry. And he has that whole realization of like, I should have been supportive. I should have like, it's her career. I should have backed her up on that. And I like that he has that realization, but I think he knew that before. Like, I think he knew that, or I think he was still hoping that she would be crawling back to him. Like she would be like, I made a mistake. I want to come home or whatever. Like he was expecting. But when he sees that like she's thriving in this career and she's doing even better than he could have anticipated, or that she may have anticipated. It's like, what a crushing blow. She's doing so good.
Yeah.
So he just reacted. He reacted like a child.
Yeah.
And he knew it. And I think that's the thing. Is like he knew that he messed up. Go ahead, Jen.
And do you think it's messed up though that she chose to be a Miss over Mrs. just for job status?
The
Like
name change is pretty messed up.
Huh?
The name change was pretty messed up.
Yeah, and it was just so she was saying like, well, a woman like in my job, like it's better to be single. It's like, but you're not. So
Yeah.
that was messed up. That's where she went wrong, I think.
Well, to his credit too, it's like you not even going to talk about that. Like you don't even mention this to me. It's just I come here and find out you're just using your maiden name. Like what the hell?
Yeah.
I can again another thing that starts to kind of like set off his boiling point, right? Is like getting blindsided by that. I think it's Brian.
You brought up Ellis.
Fucking asshole.
Did you guys want to talk about negotiating my own death?
Fucking asshole. That dude is doing coke in the middle of a hostage situation. No, fuck that guy.
Who was Ellis?
The douchebag Bubby.
Oh, the like sales
Bubby.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, let's be real. That party had a lot of wild characters. Okay, there was massive gunfire and people were in the middle of getting it on a desk. So I'm just like, oh, we ride deep in this party. Okay, but so this scene. Oh my god. The whoever the actor is, I think he was having a little too much fun with his role. He's like, oh, I get to be a sleazebag salesman. I got this, guys. You just watch, and he does a great job. But man, it's just everything he's doing is like, Hans, Bobby, I'm your white knight, and it's just all that. I don't know. I didn't notice it before, but the guy comes in with coke. Did you guys know how much coke is poured?
No.
I didn't see.
He has like a tall glass, but like the coke.
Really? Here you go.
That's a lot.
So funny. He gets like 3 sips of coke, and I mean, he's just running his mouth. I don't remember all that's said, and I mean, gotta give McClane credit. He's doing everything in his power to save this guy's life, but obviously this just did not work out well for him. And the dumbass had no idea, had no clue that he was, 3 seconds away from being shot. And just even when it was about to happen, he was still clueless. I was like, dude, you're dying. So have fun.
I could not believe his confidence as he's talking to John. I mean, like he's making faces at Hans. He's just like, this guy, am I right?
This guy, yeah.
Like who the fuck do you think you are, dude? Yeah. And what I think is hilarious is Hans the entire time knows like I'm about to kill this guy, but he's letting him just like basically dig his own grave. And he rolls in. He's like, I know this isn't some smash and grab thing. You got to like, he comes in like he knows everything. And
you use a pistol. I use a pen.
Yeah. Well, exactly.
We're the same guy.
and Hans is just like letting this guy go. He's just like, you know what? Say it. But he hits him with it like, you figured all of this out so quickly. And it's like, you didn't figure shit out. You're over here blowing smoke up your own ass.
Yep.
And he's just letting you say what you need to say to see if he gets any good information out of you. And he kind of did.
Yeah.
Like fucking idiot. Let Ellis be a lessons for anybody in a hostage situation. Don't think you can control the terrorists.
And don't do drugs.
fucking God, though. It's the 80s, right? Everybody was doing coke. But my fucking God. This guy.
Yeah.
It's something that kills me in movies when it's like somebody does coke. It's that constant, like the constantly throughout the rest of the fucking scene. And I mean, he's doing it, and it's like, this is why I want to punch you in the face. Not only are you doing coke, but you're constantly reminding me that you did coke.
McClane,
Idiot.
you miss some.
You just missed the spot. Yeah. Oh, fucking so good. You're right though. John the whole time is trying. He's very careful. If you pay attention, he's very careful about the words that he uses.
Yeah.
And how lucky does he get that Alice is like, yeah, I told him we've been long friends. He's like, oh, thank God. I don't know this guy.
Yes.
But he didn't say shit about Holly. And that's what I'm sure was like his big.
Oh, that was his biggest fear. 100%.
Especially when he says, I've got somebody who wants to talk to you. And he's like, oh, fuck, it's Holly.
Yep.
And then Ellis comes on. He's like, this fucking guy.
Yeah.
And then he keeps talking. And it's like, oh, God, shut up, Ellis. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Oh, go ahead, Jed.
I hate
I think it was Nick.
Is it Nick?
Sorry.
Is it me? Okay. Sorry, Jen. I got picked. Well, actually, I kind of want to go back to Jen, what you were saying, like when you were talking about before about the name change. I just want to mention I really like the realization that Hans has when he sees John McClane and Holly, the family photo in her office, like after Hans has met John, and he realizes that she is his wife, and then he takes her essentially, like, you know, questions her, whatever, does more. But I don't know. I just love that moment when he realizes that she is his wife. That's it. Go ahead, Jen.
Well, I would say I hate to do this, guys, but I gotta go to bed. So I'm gonna have to end it and give final thoughts. That's okay. I'll wait.
It's all good.
So final thoughts was I really did enjoy this movie. I'm so glad that I watched it, and now I can be part of the Die Hard fan club. Those people. And who wins it? Oh, okay. I have to choose two. So Argyle, I haven't done like a silly who wins it. I love Argyle. I think he's so great. But then just because like what Bruce Willis is going through in his, I gotta give it to him. He's a phenomenal actor. I haven't seen a whole lot of his stuff, but anything that I have, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And I always appreciate the character that he plays. And it just seems very authentic. Like it's just him playing it. So I have to give the real win to Bruce Willis. And be well, my friend. Be well. That's it.
Nice.
Well said.
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay, good night.
Night, Jen. Thanks for joining.
Thanks.
And then there were three.
Nick, was that a hand or?
No, I was saying bye.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I have a head scratcher.
Yeah.
So I gotta paint the picture here. This is they're on the rooftop, and it's like one of the more earlier gunfights.
Mm-hmm.
So Officer Powell hasn't even shown up to Nakatomi Tower yet, but there is some intense fire action going on top of that rooftop. My legit head scratcher is, would someone hear that? Like that high up? Like, I don't know exactly all the power of a gun. I know that they're loud, but I don't know what the physics and the rules are behind it. So it's a true question if someone would be able to hear gunfire. Go ahead, Nick.
I don't know if this is like a full answer, but I do remember that there was a shot where I think it was when Powell. It was just before Powell got to the tower.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a shot where you see, like, from the ground looking up to the top of the tower, and you see muzzle flashes from guns.
Oh, I did not see that.
Oh,
yeah. But you don't hear them. But you see the muzzle flashes. And I don't know if that shot was supposed to be like from the perspective of Powell, like to see that, because he didn't seem like he didn't seem alarmed by it. But we see it. We see those muzzle flashes going off. So someone must have seen the gunfire happening up there. But it's never told if anybody did.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Matt.
I've got no answer as far as sound, whether somebody could hear it or not. I'm gonna go with no. That just by the time that the sound travels, because I mean, the party is at the 30th floor, so there's 30 plus floors.
Yeah, I think the whole tower is 40 stories.
Yeah, I would imagine that by the time the sound waves actually got to the ground where somebody could hear them, you wouldn't be able to hear anything.
Okay.
But
yeah,
like Nick was saying, when Powell gets the call, he walks to the car and then he actually walks out to the street and looks at the top of the tower, and you can see the muzzle flashes. And that's what I thought was weird and interesting about that is Powell sees that. And yes, you could make the argument that there are lights up there that are flashing.
That's what I thought they were.
But they're sequential. Like it's always the same flash. You can see that the flashes from the guns that are happening are bam, 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 like in random places.
Interesting. Oh, man.
Timing. So that's where I'm like, that should cause some suspicion.
Yeah.
He drives up to the place and he's very casual and calm. I would have expected him to be more suspicious, especially since like he's a cop and he's shown to be a good one. He's more or less a desk jockey, is what he says, but he's not an idiot. And when he gets on the call with John, he knows how to respond and react, and like he's got good instincts. So that was my big surprise, that like they made a point to show him look up at that tower before he goes to it.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't seem suspicious. That's what I find odd.
Yeah. 100% agree with that.
Okay.
And that's why I was saying earlier, I was like, I don't know if that camera shot was supposed to be from the perspective of Powell looking up, because he didn't seem alarmed or suspicious about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one more head scratcher and then quotes left.
Good.
This is an important one. What is McLean's Christmas like?
Like Christmas Day?
Yeah, they're ending. It's been Christmas Eve, so it is now Christmas Day.
Well, here's my first question. When does he get his foot stitched up? Because we never see him with a doctor. He's continuing to move. So yeah, that's question number one. When does he get his foot stitched up? Because if it's not by that night, then he's definitely going to the emergency room the next day from probably blood loss. But I imagine it's a beautiful Christmas.
Okay.
Maybe the best Christmas they ever have. I mean, mom and dad just went through a terrible ordeal where they almost died and come out on top. The little kids think that mom and dad are dead too, because jackass reporter says that they're hostages and probably won't come home. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's one of those moments where like you survive death and you come out the other side. Everything is incredible. Everything tastes better. Everything feels better. It's like, and they get to reunite. Like that was the big thing. After 6 months of being apart, the family's back together for Christmas Day. Yeah. I think emotionally it is probably one of the best Christmases they would have ever had. physically,
I'm on board with that.
physically probably one of the worst. Daddy, are you okay? Daddy's fine, honey. It's okay. Just don't jump on my foot again.
You see that bottle with the brown liquid in it? Yeah, pass me that.
Santa told me I could have it.
Yeah, this is Santa juice.
Santa juice, gross.
What you got, Nick?
Well, I feel like we haven't talked about a big scene, which is the first time John McClane and Hans Gruber meet.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big one.
I have no title for that one.
Okay, I was gonna ask if you did, but
no.
Matt, do you have something quick to add, or
No, go ahead.
Okay,
and I've got something to say
because you were like quick with that. No, this scene is great just because I like that they don't know who each other are, even though they've been talking to each other. I mean, John knows who he is. He obviously plays it off that he doesn't know. But Hans tries to play someone else. He tries to be a different character, or just a different person. But I love their exchange that they have with each other. Just knowing the history, but also the fact that John is like doing his job perfectly with him, and that he fools Hans into thinking that he's giving him a loaded gun to be side by side with him, like thinking that he's a hostage. And then you get the twist that like Hans wants to shoot him but gets a bad gun. And I just like the whole exchange is just so good, and it's just so well acted out and well played out. It's like it's like a really good, it's like top 10 villain meets protagonist, type of scenes. Like when they meet their match or meet their maker or whatever the phrase is. It's just a fun scene. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, wonderful quick thinking on Hans's part, right? Like he gets caught and he's got a gun pointed at him, and it's like he could go the route of oh, it's you. Finally, like he just maintained villain, but he thinks quickly, and it's like, oh no, oh, you're one of them. Like, and he does a pretty decent job with the accent, although
not bad.
It falters a couple of times.
Yes.
And that kind of leads into are those the moments where John figures it out? But there's the shot when he asks him his name and he says Clay, Bill Clay. And then it cuts to the sign that shows you that somebody's name is listed as William Clay. And this is where my argument earlier about it being shot from John's perspective is that John recognizing where he got the name from and realizing that he's lying, or is it from Hans's perspective and showing this is how quickly he can come up with something? So like that,
or is it both?
Well, that's the thing. It's like where's the line of when does John figure out that Hans is Hans? Because there's not a lot of clues to give it away, and he does a really good job of maintaining that persona, right? It's like, do you smoke? Yeah. Like, just the way that he responds and reacts to everything, it feels so natural and calm, and just it's smooth.
Yeah.
Those are the things that every time I've been watching and like trying to like actually pinpoint certain things, that's one that I've been trying to focus on, of like, when is the moment that solidifies that John knows this is Hans. I'm going to give him an unloaded gun to test him. Because even then, when he gets the answer, he knows, like, do you really think I'd be dumb enough to give you a gun? It's like, you're dumb enough to not shoot him immediately.
Thank you.
You know that it's him. He pulled the gun. He just radioed his people. Fire the gun. Shoot this dude. He's 10 feet from you.
Thank you.
So
I think it's the moment when Hans's voice kind of falters and goes back to his natural voice and natural accent is when John figures it out. Even though it's not like pointed out to us that that's when John figures it out. Like I like that they keep that, you know, sort of a mystery. But me personally, I think that that's when John finds out that that's Hans. Is his voice kind of goes back to his natural state. And also
before
too,
he gets on the radio.
Yeah, like he's connecting like the two voices. Another thing is that I can't. Does John know that all of the hostages are together, like on the same floor at this point?
Yeah.
So wouldn't it be weird that there's just one guy that's not with them?
Well, and that's why he points the gun at him in the first place, and he even asks him, "Was like, what the hell are you doing here?" And he comes up with again a good lie of like, "I got away from him. I was able to sneak away," and it's like, I mean, he himself was able to get away from these guys. Is it unlikely that one in the 30 people that are there would be able to sneak away? I mean, like, it's possible. And then again, you know, he drops a name that it's like, okay, that's somebody who works here. Like he's dropping really good clues that he is one of the hostages. It's like it's a battle of wits to a degree, and we as the audience don't know when that person who wins figured it out.
Yeah.
He gave him his last cigarette too. What
was it?
He had 2 left, one for himself and one for Hans.
I didn't catch that.
Selfish bastard.
I have quotes, and then I mean, I guess the ending we haven't done, but
yeah. Well, before we get to quotes, just to highlight Al for a sec. What did you guys think of his backstory when it's revealed that the reason he's not a street cop anymore is because he accidentally killed the 13-year-old kid?
That's tough.
Oh, right.
Like
it's plausible for him to not be able to, you know, leave the streets. Very plausible.
Well, I mean, I don't think that that's an unheard of story. I'm sadly, I would say it's probably more common than anything.
Yep.
And he drops that line. I realize I'm getting into quotes already, but like he drops that line of like, they can teach you everything in the academy, but how to deal with a mistake.
Yeah.
And like you can see, because even John's kind of giving him shit at this point and just kind of poking fun at him. But also Al's like, hey, there's no way you could know this. Like you don't know me. You're in an extreme situation. But John, his tone changes entirely because he's like, I bet that he knew somebody was in that was in a similar situation, or maybe he was in it himself. But I mean, you're not a cop for 11 years and don't interact with somebody who makes a life-altering mistake like that in the field.
Yeah.
Especially in New York City, right? Quick question for Brian, I guess, since you've seen them. Do any of them take place in New York City?
Diehards?
Yeah. I'm trying to imagine what it would be like with John McClane being in his territory, you know?
Why am I having such a hard time? Die Hard 2,
it's an airport.
That's on an air. Yeah, that's an airport, right? Yeah. Is 3 in New York?
I don't know what city it is. I'm going to look it up now, but that's the only one that I could think of that might actually take place in New York.
Or no, and 4 is that's the fire sale, but were they in New York for that?
I think they were in Washington. Like they
have to fly out to Washington. Shit. And then 5 is with his son, but that's like in a foreign country.
It's there in space.
So,
damn. Yeah.
so 2 takes place in the Dulles International Airport in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
So okay, Die Hard 3 actually does take place in New York City.
In New York. Yeah, I was thinking it was in New York.
Yeah. So the third one actually is in New York City.
And 4 is it
back in DC?
Back in DC. Okay.
Which I think they go down to like it's Virginia, Maryland, like they're in that area because they definitely leave that state.
Right.
Or they go to other states.
Where they have to go to his tech guy where everyone's on a blackout and he's just rocking with all the power in the world.
Yep.
I forgot what they call it, what his name is.
It's like the wizard or something.
Yeah, that's it. Good man, great memory.
They always have stupid names like that, though.
Yeah. Napster.
Exactly.
You want to know why he's called Napster? Because he stole it when I was napping. They shut him up. I wish they'd do the same for you.
I can't. I'm not seeing much about where the 5th one takes place.
Okay.
Oh no, I take that back. John McClane travels to Russia.
Yeah, I knew it was
freaking Russia.
Yeah,
that's gonna be
They don't
terrible.
go to space.
No, Nick. No one goes to space.
You have to make it to 9 movies before you get to space.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Die Hard X. They go to space.
Oh my god.
Die Hard SpaceX.
Oh my god. The movie has written itself.
All right, so I guess like the very ending before we go into quotes. Well, it's strange, isn't it? Because Homeboy is wrapped with chains around his neck and slid down the slider
and left dangling by his neck.
Dangling. Come on. And then we got the Hans, we broke down that scene and how amazing it is. And then you get them outside, and then Homeboy comes back from, I don't know. First of all, there's so many things to break down on that. He's the chains wrapped around his neck. He's left dangling. There's absolutely nothing near him to grab or get a hold of. His hands are free. That's the only thing I'm going to give him. His hands are free. But at the event that he can even get down, he's at least 20 feet above the ground. And so now you're telling me that he can make it down whatever floor that was. I don't even know how high they are. I'm pretty sure by now the fucking the explosions of the choppers and the C4 and all that has probably done damage to this building. So somehow he still makes it all the way down to the ground with everyone around, and then decides to try to get his revenge and gets gunned down. Now, I'm guessing this is like redemption for Officer Powell. Great, good for him. I'm really happy for him. He's able to realize it's not a 13-year-old and he can do this job, but it's such a stretch as to how this, in what we're talking about 80s action movies. And if I'm not mistaken, we've done a couple of them. One of their biggest tropes was when you think someone's dead, there's always that last hoorah moment until they truly are dead. So I don't know. It's a strange one. And then of course you get the classic cue credits while the scene is still going. And that's how you know you're in the 80s era, because that was just like their thing. Ghostbusters did it. I can't even, so many movies are just like, and cue the credits and we're going. Here we go. We're still live on set, but we're just going to cue credits. It's amazing. Go ahead, Matt.
I was going to say with, we keep calling him Homeboy and I can't remember. I think I'm blanking on his name. But
was it Carl?
It was Carl, because what was his brother's
K, right? Wasn't it Carl with a K?
I think it was
Carl with a K.
Was his brother Fritz?
I'm checking.
That sounds right.
I know there was a Fritz, but excuse me. I'm trying to look to
Christoph?
right now. Was it?
I don't know.
It was. I think it was another shorter name, like Hans.
Oh yeah, there was a Fritz.
I know there was a Fritz. I just can't remember if that was his brother or not. It's the guy who gets the ho ho ho.
Hilarious. Franz, or I'm sorry, Fritz.
Yeah.
His real name,
Don't tell me.
Hans.
Nice.
Hans Booringer.
Interesting. I want to see how that's spelled. But so for Homeboy, let's stick with Homeboy.
I like Homeboy.
I like it too. The way that I interpret him getting down from there is the medics got him down. Like they found him essentially unconscious, probably getting very little air.
Oh,
that's why they got him on the gurney. Doesn't explain why he still has a gun on him. It's one of those moments where like I think they wrote it in really just to be like, John has done everything that he needs to do, but because we've befriended Al throughout this whole movie, this is that chance for him to get his redemption.
Exactly.
So it's like all of our good guys are good guys, and they get their victory at the end. So like I like it for that reason. Does it make sense? Absolutely not. And like you said, it's so unnecessary.
I've same feeling here.
Yeah, but it is a fun way to end the movie, like you said, like with Ghostbusters, because you get that second laugh of, you know, Al shoots Homeboy, and he's got that kind of intensity going of like, I got him, I did it. And then Argyle busts through the gates and he's like, and then freaking John is like, no, he's with me. It's cool.
Yeah,
it's cool.
This one's good.
This one's my one with me. So you get that kind of like chuckle. They keep it lighthearted at the end and have the credits roll. Like it makes it fun after all of the intensity and action that just happened. But what I'm trying to confirm is, I think in the third movie, the guy that's targeting John is the brother of Carl and Fritz. I will say it's Fritz. I can't remember which one. Like those guys are brothers. I think their other brother is the bad guy in the third movie, and that's why he's targeting John.
I think you're right.
I thought that was such an interesting thing because it's them taking that whole dynamic, right? Like once Carl finds out his brother is dead, like he's on a mission. I want to kill this man. And to find out that, you know, the same guy killed both of his brothers, and then he makes him his enemy for an entire movie. Like that's a really cool concept to pull from for a sequel, especially where like it makes sense for the first movie, but to keep that story arc going, to keep that whole family dynamic going, brilliant.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Nick.
So I was just trying to think of like any last minute scenes. So I feel like we haven't talked a whole lot about this movie for some reason. Like I feel like there's a lot, like we talked about a lot, but we just haven't talked about it all.
No, we covered a lot of Die Hard.
Well, because I know, Brian, you said you took like a ton of notes, but I feel like you really didn't talk much about stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's just
I've covered all my notes that I took.
Oh, okay. No, I just want to bring up a scene I really liked towards the end when McClane is up on the roof and is it him trying to get all the hostages? He's trying to get them all off the roof, back down, and you see him, you know, firing his gun like up in the air to get them all to go back down. But then you have the helicopters coming, and they're thinking that McClane is Hans, or like the evil guy or whatever, the terrorist. And even for the second watch, I was like, oh man, I hope they don't shoot him. Because like that fear, that panic of like, he's the good guy, you know, like if there was just better communication, that, you know, like all of that could have been avoided. And I think that that's what this movie does really well is it uses miscommunication like in a really not powerful way, but it just uses miscommunication effectively, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? It's like that is what sort of builds the tension and the suspense. It's just people not knowing all of the information for understandable reasons, not because the writers just like forgot to write that in or whatever, but like legitimate reasons why people don't know, you know who is who. And I can't think of any other movies that are like that. You know, it's just
But
it's really.
If John McClane isn't getting shot at by the helicopters, we wouldn't be able to see him take a fire hose and wrap it around and jump off the side of a building.
Correct.
You're muted.
I am muted. That leads to another complaint that I have. He does that, and what foot is he using to break that glass?
Is he using
the bloody ass foot that has a huge gaping hole in it from glass? What? I realize that's your dominant foot, Bruce Willis, but there's no way in hell that you're going to be kicking that hard with that foot.
I didn't realize it was one foot. I thought he used both feet.
He did.
That.
He does at one point, but like you can see when he's starting because he gets the blood splatter onto onto the glass, but then he starts cracking it, and you see him kick off and send himself through. But
he's smart and he shoots it.
Yes, like that's just one of those things where like
Man,
foot is
this movie had to have gone through a lot of glass.
Oh my God. A lot of sugar.
A lot of sugar.
Lots of sweetness.
All in all, though, you gotta admit, it's a cool scene.
Oh, absolutely.
The fire hose,
yeah, the fire hose and
what the best
propelling
part,
pretty much.
Okay. When it starts with the freaking slow-mo of the building exploding behind you and guns and shit's going off and you're like flying off, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
But what I love about these scenes is like it's that added little bit of the realism, right? Like all that happens and then you see the wheel that goes down and it's like, oh shit, now it's pulling me. It's like those are the things that I love of like, okay, you survived part 1, here's part 2.
Yes.
And like he barely gets out of that thing in time. Like, yes, like those are the fun, exciting moments of like, not only did you get through the part that we didn't expect you to survive, you didn't expect you to survive, but you barely made it out of the second situation that you couldn't have predicted was going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
It is
good.
Still scrolling through trivia trying to confirm, but
so I'll start doing some quotes because chances are it might spark up scenes or whatever. First one I wrote down was "Come to Papa and kiss your stupid Dalmatian."
What was that from?
Go ahead, Matt.
That's the moment when the fire department he pulls the fire alarm and they're coming.
Yep.
And that's what I loved about it, is like from a policeman, like it's like, oh thank God the fire department's coming, and like I'll kiss your fucking Dalmatian, like that's the part that kills me of like he's still a cop at heart, but he's like, thank God somebody's coming to help.
He's like, come on, that's right, come to Papa, I'll kiss your fucking Dalmatian.
I don't fully get it.
It's when the firefighters are
no the actual quote itself, like what does kissing the Dalmatian mean?
Dalmatians are stereotypically fire
dogs,
department dogs.
Are they?
It's not 100%, but I mean like that if you think of a fire department with a dog, you probably think of a fire department with a Dalmatian.
Yeah.
Dalmatian. Why Dalmatians? That's such a random.
I don't know. I don't know the science behind it. I'm sure they're like really good at sniffing or something.
Maybe. Huh. I'm curious now.
They're short hair, so they're not going to catch fire as quickly. I don't know.
Yeah. Do some research.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Does anyone have any quotes, or is it just me?
I've got 2 quotes, I guess.
What you got?
So they're both pretty early on. There were a couple of other quotes that I would have liked to have written, but didn't. So the first one is it's our guy right at the beginning where he's like, you want to know how you survive flight?
Oh yeah.
You get to whatever your location is, take your shoes and socks off and squish your toes on the carpet, make a little fist with your feet. It's one of those things where like when he says that, I'm reminded of like, it really is like such a good feeling. Just like when you've been on your feet all day walking around, it's like, is there anything better than like getting out of your shoes and socks and just kind of like squishing your feet into like soft carpet? Like it just feels really nice. And I love the payoff later on when he does it and he's like, son of a bitch. This does feel good.
Yeah.
Just like really surprised. But I like that he took his advice.
Yep.
But ultimately comes to bite him in the ass.
I found an answer, by the way.
To what?
It's an old-timey thing. But question is, why did they use Dalmatians as fire dogs? Answer is Dalmatians and horses are very compatible, so the dogs were easily trained to run in front of the engines to help clear a path and guide the horses and the firefighters to the fires quickly. They are still chosen by many firefighters as pets in honor of their heroism in the past.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I think I knew about like the relationship between dogs and the horses, but I never would have made that connection to like basically going all the way back to like, yeah, they were the lead dog essentially for the horse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Follow me to the fire.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna mispronounce this one, but it's from our buddy Ellis.
Fucking idiot.
Frequency talk.
Sprickensy talk.
Sprickensy talk. That's what it was.
You fucking idiot. Sorry, like it's just.
I feel like that's just something that you can probably just mess around with your friends.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Nein.
And I got one more after this.
Mine was it's when John first gets to the party and the guy walks up to him and goes, "Merry Christmas," and kisses him, and he's just like all taken aback, and it's like, Jesus fucking California.
Yeah.
That was probably my favorite moment of him with the fucking Californias.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This randomly happy guy just kissing him.
That I might even start incorporating that in like everyday life if I see something crazy.
Kissing people or just saying fucking California?
That, but it's the way you say it, right? You can't just say fucking California. It's gotta be
fucking California.
Fucking California.
Like you have to put emphasis on the like fucking California.
Yeah. You know? This one I've used plenty of times, especially during sports and especially during football, is oh my god, the quarterback is toast.
Yeah. Okay. That guy had some fun moments too. I liked when he was on and like getting all snarky and shit. He was funny.
Yeah.
There should have been a little bit more of a battle between he and Argyle.
Yeah.
Give me a real fight.
No, that was really bad. We talked about that at the top of the show. I'm like, okay.
But I did like that guy. I think he's the only one that survives.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Which I know it's not a horror film, but you know, kind of ironic that the black guy is the only one who survives.
You said it.
I said it.
He said it.
I'm just saying. I mean, breaking movie stereotypes. Good for you, Die Hard.
Yeah.
All right. Who won the movie? Wrap this one up.
All right.
Anybody wanna go
I mean,
first?
for me, it's Bruce Willis. Honestly, he really carries the show. Just from the comedy to the action, the acting, the lines, like it all blends so well together. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. Really good chat. This is great, guys. And I'm not picking the second movie, but I do think I need to keep watching the series since it's all on it's all on Hulu. But yeah, I guess big shout outs for stunt crew, special effects, cinematography, and all of that. Like it's shot very well. There's lots of great stuff. I mean, this movie has been parodied so many times by so many different things. Like it's definitely it's cemented itself as a phenomenal piece of cinema. But for who wins it, runner up, I got to give it to our man Hans Gruber. Alan Rickman is incredible. I mean, for this being his first major motion picture, does absolutely incredible. I mean, absolutely great job of what he's doing. But I don't think it tops Bruce Willis. I mean, the reason that this series exists and continues to thrive is the fact that it's Bruce Willis's John McClane. And I know that this is in many ways a sequel to what was it called with Frank Sinatra, the detective?
The detective, yeah.
Detective. I still like to consider this movie technically a sequel to that, but because John McClane is a truly unique character and that's not Frank Sinatra, I'm like, Bruce Willis created John McClane, and he's as iconic of a character as freaking Indiana Jones or Sherlock Holmes, right? I mean, like John McClane, you know that name, and
Ethan Hunt,
freaking Jason Bourne, right? Like it is a name that you know and recognize, and that
John Wick.
It's all because of Bruce Willis. And huge shout out to him, because I believe I don't want to say this was his major motion picture debut. I can't remember, but this was his breakout role for sure.
Yeah.
So huge shout out and huge kudos to him.
All right. This has been just a fabulous talk of breakdown of Die Hard. We did it, guys. We figured out if it was a Christmas movie or not. Not a lot of people can say that. So
we have made a decision.
Yes. Yeah. It's just Die Hard is a gem. I love this one. I love this series. I own all of it. And it will be forever in my life. This is probably one of the hardest who ones for me. My honorable mention will go to or give it to, I don't even know. I'm not even going to give an honorable mention, honestly. I'm doing for me, it's a co-win. It's going to be between Bruce Willis and Alan Rickman. Just dynamite performances. Without these two performances, Die Hard is not what it is. Plain and simple. You have just the perfect performance of a villain who actually shows and you can believe is incredibly smart. And then you have the comedy, the athleticism, the belief where you look at John McClane as just this average guy, and then he makes you believe that he can be the hero of the day. And that's just not easy. So without those performances, I don't think people praise Die Hard the way that they do today. So we're going a dual win.
Fair enough. All right. Well, that wraps it up for Die Hard. Another phenomenal chat for us. Great job, everybody. This was fun. Yeah. That wraps it up.
Really nailing it, Matt.
Well, it's what I'm fighting myself on right now is I haven't. I'm having one of those moments where like I have my pick. I have a pick for next week, but I'm not like confident or like comfortable with it. But I think I just need to do it. So you know what, here's what I'll say, because you guys allow me this, right? I'm going to drop this movie. I'm going to say like, this is the movie. And if I have a change of heart by the end of day tomorrow, that's when I will give myself to change it. But other than that, this is the movie. And if I don't say anything else, I'm sticking with it. But so the movie is it's on Netflix and it came out in 2019. It's actually a Netflix original, if I'm not mistaken. And it is a film by the name of Dolomite Is My Name.
Can you repeat that?
Dolomite Is My Name, starring Eddie Murphy.
Dolomite?
Dolomite. Dolemite. Dolomite. Okay. I'll send it into the chat and everything. Yeah, this is just a movie. It's been on my watch list for a while now. I haven't actually seen it, but it's an interesting one. If I'm not mistaken, it's somewhat about filmmaking. So I think that like that aspect of it could be a lot of fun. So it's a historical kind of movie. I think it's actually based off of real people. But yeah. As of now, I'm hoping it's an interesting movie. I hope we enjoy it. We get some good laughs and just see something that's a little bit different than what we typically watch. But yeah, Dolomite Is My Name, streaming on Netflix. That is most likely what we will be talking about next week. Hopefully that remains. It's just tough. I feel like it's tough to find good movies that I really want you guys to watch with me. But yep, this is it. Dolomite Is My Name. And with that wraps up Die Hard and ends us for the night. If anybody out there is watching, please give us a like and a follow, share us with your friends. You can check us out on Instagram at good.flickas. You can watch us here on Twitch at GoodFlickas, and you can see some of our past shows on YouTube at GoodFlickas. If you've got any comments, advice, just general information or anything that you want to send our way, you can always send us an email at goodflickas2020@gmail.com. Just come out, hang out with us every Monday and, give us some feedback. We'd love to see those hearts popping up. Give us some shares, give us some likes, subscribe to our channels. Just love to get your support and hear back from you guys. But other than that, I think that's going to wrap us up for it tonight. Ryan, go ahead and close us out, good sir.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun hanging out at Nakatomi Tower tonight. Woo! Everyone, don't be an Ellis. And we will see you guys all next week. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers.
Yeah.